Hello, everyone, and welcome to another horrific review. Flea and I are back as we continue our look into horror anime with the first part of Ayakashi, Japanese classic horror, produced by Toei Animation. Welcome back, buddy. Here we are again.
It's that time on a Sunday.
Yep. I have to say, I did enjoy these. They're simpler stories, not quite the sort of in-depth character ride that we'll have with Shiki, but I appreciate them for simplicity, if that makes sense. Like they are
Yeah,
folk tales.
yes, it's kind of like they're more traditional stories, which means nice, simple plot, single thread going all the way from beginning to the end.
This is something we lost. In fact, it was God, it was Tolkien. That's what inspired him to write Lord of the Rings. That particularly in the British Isles, we don't have that level of storytelling. Yet for some reason, we're attributed to being the magical isles of fairy tales, etc. But we're not, and I think it's something that's damaged us long term as a culture that we don't have these things to hold on to.
Yeah,
Our old tales that were never recorded.
I've got to be honest. I blame America.
Well, there is a dumb yankification of the UK, which is I'm totally against because yeah, everything we have done is being overwritten and demyankified, which is
I-
irritating.
If well, I'm going to say if you go back before World War One, British literature was way different than it is now. It's like the stories were a lot simpler. But it's like during World War II, when American literature became more popular, we just kind of like lost the old way we used to write stories.
Yeah, and it's just it never recovered.
No, no, it's
And
because the new style stuck, unfortunately.
it's annoying. Like I said, it's there's no benefits. Like there's like let the Americans do their things, we do ours. It's down to once again weak trendsetters who don't have enough confidence in themselves, so they always look to somewhere else. Like you see all the wannabe gangster rappers and stuff and all that thing. Like what are you doing? You're like, what are you
Yeah.
doing?
Hmm?
No, you see all the kids now, and they're all trying to be like gangster rappers, American style gangster rappers, and you're like, what are you doing, you silly bastards? You know,
Just, just be yourself. I mean, it's
nah, it's I never understood. Like, I'm all for sharing of cultures, I'm all for exploring different cultures,
mm,
but I've never understood this incessant the way one has to overwrite the other. Like, if you need to quash someone else to tell your story, it's the same as you see it in writing and everything else. You see a lot of bitchiness in I hate the word community, but the writing community, you see a lot of backstabbing and bitchiness and people trying to put others down.
oh, you
Uh,
can't write this unless you're part of our group, that kind of
yeah,
thing.
and you're just like, if your stuff must be absolutely shit, then if you're that weak that you can't let anybody else exist, apart from you, like that's rather sad. So these sort of stories, like they're for start, yokai spirits are supernatural beings, often attributed with shape shifting abilities. So they're a main feature in these, and that's that type of storytelling. Ayakashi itself, the word, is also a term for a supernatural being, which are tied to bodies of water, which is seen, a lot of spirits here come out of bodies of water or involve with bodies of water.
Yeah, honestly, what's it? The first step is the first story takes place
That's
in a
yeah,
swamp.
yeah.
What the Japanese call Ayakashi, we call Will of the Wisp.
hmm and these are all like kabuki theaters. These were originally told uh, like in plays, and
It,
that's something I have to applaud the Brothers Grimm for. Like the actual real life Brothers Grimm, they went on a mission. They saw it as their mission to go around Europe collecting folk tales and documenting them. And I don't think they understood at the time. I think they just felt compelled to do it. It was something they had to do. But
Yeah,
there's a reason those stories have stood the test of time, is because they were gathered from the horse, so to speak, from the actual source.
yeah. It's like they went round, they gathered them all in one place. It's almost like they curated fairy stories. It's like they collected them in one place so that they could like look after them. Unfortunately, then Disney came along.
Yeah, just there was another podcast, Midnight Signal podcast. We're talking about that, how like the original Hansel and Gretel. I didn't realize they'd done this because I've only ever read the original, that they didn't push the witch into the burning oven at the end. They pushed her into an empty cold oven, so that she was just trapped and got imprisoned or something.
Oh, she got burnt alive. She's gone. She is.
Yeah, but that's that sort of watering down. And the only people that have like local folklore, British Isles folklore, the only people that have gathered over here are academics.
I say we have some fantastic, like this fantastic folklore in this country.
But the only people gathering them or gathered them or had any sense of retelling them are academics. Academics are not storytellers.
No, no.
They don't have the heart and the feeling. It's a cold, clinical, cynical look. And of course, they have to mar it with, oh, here's blah, 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 beard, my 5,000 word essay, shite. They didn't do it with the idea of just collecting. Because once again, the class system over here, it's we don't want to we don't want to attribute anything to the peasantry, that sort of shit.
The peasantry is simply there to get things done. They're simply not intelligent enough, thoughtful, or philosophical enough to understand a good story.
Yet every good story comes from peasant folklore.
I
Because
say,
when you've got a mud shack and the only thing at night is a fire keeping you all warm, how do you exist in that world? You need fantasy, you need stories.
yeah, I was going to say, well, it's like kind of weird, but it's like in order to keep people safe, you need that little bit of fear.
Mhm.
So you need a bogeyman outside to prevent you from like going outside late at night, getting into trouble, maybe getting killed by someone on the road.
Yeah, but not only that there, you need stories, you need tales of a better place. That's what the human spirit is, which is weird in this day of everyone's supposedly cold and clinical, or they're trying to social engineer everything. And it's like, the minute you quash the human spirit, we're not humans anymore. We're automatons. And that's not the human condition. There's a reason why we've been able to do what we've done over the millennia, build cathedrals and structures and aim for the stars and have imaginations. There's a reason why we're sitting here like this, and that's because of the human spirit and imagination. Just these stories remind me of that, just that simplicity of storytelling.
Ah, the modern overcomplication of storytelling. To be quite honest, we could just sit here and talk about that for hours.
Yeah, that'd be a whole thing on its own. That'd be a whole discussion thing. And I've noticed that even with quite a few indie writers, a lot of them want to sound intellectual rather than just tell a story. So they try to overcomplicate everything, and they
Yeah.
want to throw as many big words just for the sake of throwing big words in, and basically serve up portions of word soup rather than just telling a good story and having you invested, because they don't understand.
So what? That's it. It's like why tell a story in say 2,000 words when you can overcomplicate it and tell a story in like 8,000 words, which is a bigger book, which will sell for more. I mean, it's I honestly think that it's like I like reading the occasional good novel, but I actually think short stories are where the future lies.
Well,
Like,
I reckon honestly, between 4,000 and 5,000 words is a good place for a short story. It's
yeah,
meaty enough that you're not just skimming over, but it's also not overstaying its welcome. Anything above 5,000 words, you're getting into sort of novella territory, and I don't know. You need to take a next level look at that. If that makes sense. But for short stories, these sort of tales are folk
yeah.
tales. that this is how basically people were inspired imagination. And most storytellers, bards, for example, weren't rich people. They just got by. It was their living. That's how it's the same as a blacksmith.
Yeah.
Wasn't always making intricate parts for the royal court. They were fixing shoe horses and hammers, and it wasn't glamorous work, but they survived day by day. It's the same as storytellers. It fulfilled the human need. Some are better than others. Some more successful than others. It's you can see that whole spectrum. This is something I want people to, by looking at these sort of stories, if you haven't watched these and you do decide to come back to this either after the live stream or you're watching this back after the fact and you want to check these stories out, just reconnect with the simplicity. And this is the thing. These are Japanese fables, like it's put into animation. But the stories are universal. We can all get something. Yes, there's quite a few themes here, uniquely Japanese and Japanese culture. That's fine. Wouldn't want it to be any other way. I wouldn't want to. I hate westernization of stuff when there's no need.
But that's just it. It's like the stories. I mean, the stories could fit into any culture. I mean, without a doubt, if we go back looking through British folklore, they're like the first one, the first story.
This is Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, like the Yatsuya ghost story. Without a doubt, I bet you can find something exactly the same as this story in British folk culture.
Mm-hmm. The closest thing I can think of off the top of my head is the story of Romeo and Juliet. Except it's the yokai and the humans instead of the Capulets and monkeys.
Well, no, I mean there's plenty of stories out there about like men, nobles, knights, warriors falling in love with a fairy, like falling in love with a member of the Fae. That's a better way of putting it.
And then causing disruptions when the Fae Kingdom by bringing a human, etc., all that. Yeah. But yeah, we'll start off this. So these stories are told in 4 parts. We're sort of
if you think about it, when you put the 4 parts together, that's about 2 hours, which is the length of a good story around the campfire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And honestly, like they were nicely split up. Like obviously I watched them in succession, so it's not like I was waiting a week or anything in between them. But they were just split up into acts, like a play. And if you think you can watch a play, 4-act play. But yeah, the first one's the Yatsuya ghost story. And we have this a shogunate, isn't it? It's under the shogun. Under one of the regent lords areas. And there's this old abandoned castle that's sat there, and of course the bandits are like, yeah, let's go rob that. That'll work.
So we'll go. It's abandoned. We'll go and spend the night there. It's like that scene in a certain film that was watched the other night, where like the party, the group are just kind of like, yeah, abandoned house. We'll go there.
Yeah, just for shits and giggles, like the 2-car convoy. That was so much fun.
I'm gonna watch it again. I might watch it tonight.
That's a Halloween film. That is without a doubt a Halloween film.
But yeah, it's just it's almost as if like the bandits. It's like the bandits are basically told like it's like, no, don't go to the castle. Well, you told us not to, so we're going to the castle. And you're just kind of sitting there going like, this can only end well.
Yeah, I love the way the old woman just appears. Like they're in the middle of nowhere. Old woman magically appears, and nobody has a sense of self-preservation to go. Random old woman in the woods warning us. Maybe listen. Once again, this is all down to age and wisdom, isn't it? There's a reason the old crone has survived in the woods where many haven't.
Yeah, the bit where when they ride off, he kicks her from his. I'm like, wow, okay, that's not how you treat your eldest young man.
if somebody is absolutely no threat to you whatsoever
Mm.
and actually causing you no harm, and in fact trying to warn you, yeah, the decent thing to do is that they treat them with a bit of respect. But this is once again, this is the classic storytelling arc. Respect your elders. Um, if you've got strength, respect those weaker than yourself. Temper your strength, sort of thing. Only use when
Yeah.
necessary. Most stories will always are against the bully. The worst thing to be in the world is a bully. Hey, Chris, man. Hey, guys. It's a good anime expert. Has modern storytelling changed as much in the last 40 years as Western live action storytelling has?
Ooh, that's a good question. It's changed, but in a way that coexists better with the old style of storytelling, because it's still you get modern stories, but you still get olden style stories like this. It's kind of like these. It's like there are several different like ways of storytelling in like Japanese culture at the moment. They just all nicely slot in and coexist with each other. There's none of kind of like doesn't seem to be as much as the competition that you seem to get in Western culture.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like this new modern method of storytelling that has to push the old way out of the way so it can become the dominant way, so that everybody reads this story or that story or enjoys this kind of storytelling until the next new big thing comes along.
How long have we been doing this segment now? It's been quite a while, hasn't it? Has it been a year?
It's got to be going on a year.
So we've been doing this segment for a year, and pretty regularly, because I don't think we've really, we might have reached out, but don't really think we've missed any. Like basically on every 2 weeks on the clock, we've been here. I don't think we have seen two anime the same. Like even Takashi Kon, like we'll cover the same director, 3 of his creations, and they're different. You know what I mean? It's his style of storytelling, but each one's different. Like you're not thinking rinse and repeat, which
No, it's like each story is, how can I put it? Each story is allowed to exist in its own kind of like bubble, in its own brain space. It's like there's no clash of ideas. There's no clash of ideas. The ideas just exist as their own thing. Because like you say, it's like you can get someone who's like he'll create one anime and then he'll create another anime which is completely different.
and you can see subtle, you can recognize the director. Like Takoshi Kon loved his just mind-bending reality. That was his theme. But like Paprika and Perfect Blue are completely different movies.
Yes.
Paranoia Agent, again, completely different. But you know what I'm saying? They're like, it's not like, oh, here's Takashi. It's not like, here's Guy Ritchie. We're going to get an East London gangster movie.
Yeah.
Every, rinse and repeat. It's not like freaking Michael Bay. Here's another Michael Bay explosions, or here's another Christopher Nolan. I think I'm more intellectual than you, so I'm not going to write a coherent script movie. If that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense to me. It's
only 2 directors. Like you can possibly 3 will go into horror, but 2 directors for definite have their unique style, but everything's been different. I would say would be Steven Spielberg and Quentin Tarantino.
Yes. Yes.
I'd agree a Tarantino movie, but everyone's different.
I don't think Tarantino made. No, he didn't. He didn't. It's like Spielberg and Tarantino. They never made 2 films that were the same. I mean, even films that are part of a series with like Spielberg, there's still enough difference between them that you can enjoy them as their own movie. It's like you're not. It's like an example. Oh dear. I'm going to use a terrible example. I'm going to use Indiana Jones as an example.
Mm-hmm.
You can watch each individual film without having watched the previous film in the series. Each film is its own standalone. It's like each film exists in like its own little like spot,
Mm-hmm.
and it's almost like it doesn't matter what order you watch them in.
No, because there's like separate snapshot in time of the character's journey. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then if you look at Counters of what is it? Counters of oh my god, the alien one. The lights.
Oh, Close Encounters.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That was I couldn't get the words out of my head. Look at that, and AI. You know what I mean? Artificial intelligence. You know what I mean? Movies are all different, but
yeah,
we were able to take 2 directors out of a whole plethora of 100 years of movie making, and only able to cite really 2 that aren't rinse and repeat. The only close one I would say after that would be Sam Raimi, because even though most of his career has been the Evil Dead franchise, when he has done other movies, there's enough of a difference that they're their own thing. And the reason that he's come to mind as well is a new one coming out, which
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
The problem, my problem with like it's not just movie making. It's kind of like it creeps into like television and like the written words and written literature as well.
Oh yeah,
too much is it's all rinse and repeat. It just seems to be the same stories being told over in a slightly different way, but the same stories being told. There's not enough difference between what's being told and what's been told previously.
Well, the 2 places you'll see that, I've always said, like the most generic, beige, bland bookstores are either in an airport or a supermarket shelf.
Mm.
And if something says New York Times bestseller on it, you guarantee you're getting the same story, rinse and repeat. Doesn't matter who the author is. Doesn't matter if it once it says that it has all its labels and stuff. You know, because of the editing, that it's basically it doesn't matter who the author is. It's the same story, the same style. It's all been stripped of any sense of personality.
Yeah, I can think of several authors off the top of my head.
Yeah, you know that you just go to those 2 places if you want to see mediocrity. But
yeah,
that's what the masses want. That's the problem. The masses don't want to be challenged.
That's just it. You just want it's like airports. You just want a book that's gonna kill the time while you're on the plane.
Mm-hmm. And not be too challenging. But that's that sort of exemplifies, and I see it, like I said, something becomes a trend, everyone automatically, and it's more, I think it's more in your face because you're actually at ground level watching it happen in real time. I saw it with the booktubers and stuff, you know what I mean? If this is the author we're going to gush about this month, they all do it. It's like reaction videos as well. This is the popular video. They all look at the popular video and they all gush at exactly the same moments.
I hate reaction video. If I want to watch a video, I'll watch the original. I don't need to watch somebody having a reaction to having a reaction to the reaction of a reaction of the original video.
The whole Drosky effect.
Yeah. Tar very much.
The problem is if you click on one, you just get absolutely snowboarded with loads of them. Then you have to like not interested, try and get your feed sorted out.
Yeah, and then it's like, hey, you looked at this video. Why not watch this reaction that someone has had to a video?
That effect, the algorithm effect, is the human psyche. We like to go with what we're familiar with. We don't like to be challenged, so it feeds into that, and it's something you have to fight. Like I admit, I'm the same. I have my comfort zone. I understand that. That's why I push myself. If that makes sense, because I know that about myself. I know that sort of nature, and if I let myself become complacent in that, then I'll fall into the same trap, and then I'm not growing as a person anymore, and I'm not fucking dead yet. So I'm still a few years under the belt to be spending 30 odd years. Like
there's there's going to be plenty of time to lie down and do nothing in like
Yeah.
40 years' time. It's like I'm fine at the moment. Thanks very much. I think that's one of the reasons I like anime, because it's like every anime is different. Every anime is different enough so that it's like you can watch them and not be bored, not say, oh, do you know what? I've seen this before. Because even if it's exactly the same story, people will tell it differently.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing about adaptations, etc. And you can take familiar elements. So something I struggled with as a writer at the start was, how do I tell something completely different? It must be completely original. And you realize very quickly there's no such thing. You can't have 2,000 plus years of humanity and everything be left. But what you can do is put your own spin on it, bring your own voice to a story and your own circumstance. That's what makes it different, because everybody's life is different.
Yeah.
And you have to hone into that, but you have to have lived the life first. If you've lived in a bubble and never been challenged in your life and never had any struggle, even if it's just going without the aim for something higher, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not going to indulge because I'm saving up for this. If you've never had that, you're not alive. You're an automation. And that's a lot of modern storytellers are automations, because most of them, it's a hobby. They have some form of income, or they come from wealth, and it shows. Like spoiled little princes and princesses, you can tell them a mile off, and really they've nothing to say. That's not everyone, of course. Like, we're lucky enough here that people come to us, get it. I think most people anyway get what we're about, and it's great when we have those folks on board, because it keeps brings storytelling back.
Yeah, it keeps things fresh, which is very important, because you need freshness to keep people interested.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, back to this. We have, was that a formality, or what the old woman, Uma, warning the bandits?
It's oh no, what's the term for it? It's kind of like it's setting the scene. It's, damn it, what is the term for it when somebody comes in? It's foreshadowing. It's kind of like it's kind of like setting the stage for what is going to happen.
Yep.
But yeah, in stories like this, typically there'll always be someone who's like, "Oh, don't go to the old castle, or whatever you do, don't go into the old mine. Well, you kids will get in trouble if you go into that forest." How many Western horror movies have got like people at the beginning telling people not to do something?
Oh yeah.
And then they go and do it anyway. It's just foreshadowing to set the scene.
If she wasn't one of the forgotten gods, and just a random, like a lady that lived like an exposition device, if she's actually an old crone in the woods, I would get that. But the fact that she's invested in them going to the castle, why she warned them against it, or was that to spur them on, to make them want to go more?
It's to spur them on, because there's nothing worse than human nature than if you tell somebody not to do something.
That's true. I'm bloody well going to do it.
Yeah, it's like, what, you're telling me not to go up to the old haunted castle that's full of flesh-eating ghosts? You're not going to scare me up like that.
You're telling me I'm not cool enough to start a YouTube channel? Right. 5 years later. Fuck you.
You fool. Ka-ching, let's go. Kicks the old woman over.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah. There's not a lot more to say about the bandits, is there? Because they kind of like, they go to the castle.
They're a plot device.
It's like, they are. I honestly think that the whole reason they exist is just to like introduce the main character to you.
Mm-hmm. Or it's the fact what happens when you go into the castle itself. I also don't understand, if they were just going to camp there, go to one of the ground floors, buy the thing, just put a lead-to up. I love these people that roam the wilderness and don't have like shelter equipment. Like even a canvas or something. Like
It's like, yeah, we're going to go into this chamber and we're going to go all the way to the top of the tower where the guy who used to like rule the lands from this castle was, just to show that we're just as important as he is.
I guess maybe as long as there's shelter, like a courtyard or something, doesn't smell of weed.
That's just it. I mean, what's wrong with a stable or something like that?
Yeah, does the job, keeps you out of sight. If you want to go exploring during the day, fair enough. But if you're just looking for shelter for the night, right, there you go. Into
Let's go quick. This castle's supposed to be haunted, and it's like it's the dead of night. Let's go inside and have a look. You do actually wonder why these bandits have managed to survive as bandits this long.
You do wonder, don't you? Bit of situational awareness.
It's kind of like, I wonder what happens if I stick my hand in this like grinding, roaring machine. I wonder what will happen. Oh no, my fingers.
Yeah, it's like everyone who starts hooking about in the waste disposal, down the you know that thing's going to switch on and shred you to bits. Behave. But yeah, they didn't last very long. And we get to meet the forgotten gods, the ghosts.
Gotta be honest though, what a hideous way to go. They basically sucked their life essence out of them.
Yeah, that was it. They only noticed that there was extra women in the group.
It's like, hang on a minute. It's like 3 blokes, 3 women, all of a sudden 3 blokes and like a dozen women.
And they're just, oh, right, okay.
Like,
easy mistake to make.
Like, damn, we got popular all of a sudden. But yeah, it's actually the only ones you see get killed are the blokes. What happened to the women?
No, I think they got killed too. Just did it off screen. Nobody survived.
So I'm actually wondering, did they let the women go?
No, because they have to eat human flesh. We find that out. So human flesh is human flesh.
Keeps them strong, keeps them immortal.
Yep.
They are no longer worshipped because they are the forgotten gods.
Yep. But this is nothing compared to the feudal lord who's in charge of the region.
Yeah.
Or some might say Prince Andrew. So Prince Andrew is in charge of this region.
The only difference is this guy gets away with it because he is like the feudal lord. He's the ruler of this region. Therefore, he gets away with it because basically what he says goes. And even as far as feudal lords go, damn, this one's a loser.
What an absolute plank. So he thinks the Falcon is going to help pay off his back taxes, that he's such an idiot that he can't rule the land properly.
Yeah.
Because he's just an indulgent idiot.
He's going to give the daimyo, the overall leader, he's going to give him this white falcon, and this daimyo is going to turn around and say, you know what? Forget about the money because this is a really nice bird of prey. Which I've got to be honest, is totally legit. Please take my wife and my daughter. Oh, go on then.
It's all about the fact that it was spent, it's a rare breed and it was trained specifically, blah, blah, blah. Why did he have to fly it? Why did he have to get involved?
Who? The daimyo?
Yeah, the Lord.
Because it's his gift, but being the guy in charge of everybody else, he shouldn't have to soil his hands and get himself dirty doing something that some peasant can do.
No, but what I mean is the whole I know it was to get the bird to escape, etc. But why did he have to go hunting with it when he's no adeptness for hunting in any shape or form? Like he's a pampered prince. That's
I don't know. I honestly think it was just to see how well trained the bird had been and if it was suitable to be given to like the daimyo as a gift.
All right, so shooting at it, is that going to be a test?
No, I
Like
think that's just to show,
actually aiming at the bird. Like,
I think that's just to show one absolute loser the guy is.
oh, I shot at the bird and it's flown away. What a shock! Imagine that happening.
This bird's not doing what I'm telling it to. Bang. That's basically it. It'll just because it's like it's like a scene that we will see in a bit where he's having his toenails cut.
Yeah, because you do that when you're holding court. That's
Yeah.
not done in the bedroom, but privately. No, you
You
just
know,
do it.
it's yet another sign of what an absolute loser this guy is.
Yeah.
Because if you think everything that happens, the tragedy that unfolds during this first story, it's all his fault because he took a shot at that bird.
Mm-hmm. I was just yeah. There's when you talk about bad leaders, and I think what I found although I have I have read James Clavell, etc. I know there are bad Japanese leaders,
Oh yes,
but normally you expect them to be tacticians, master technicians. You expect them to be politically minded. This is something you would attribute more to a European lord,
Yeah.
like a fat baron, robber baron type.
Yeah. Oh, they've had plenty of bad leaders in Japan. If you think in Japan, it's all hereditary.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the current leader's son could have like half a brain and the morals of a rabid rat, but they would still be leader when their time comes because it's hereditary.
I'm trying to think the name of the shogun, not Toranaga, the one that basically sucked up Toranaga until the very end, and the one Toranaga revealed his ultimate plans to. The one that boiled some of one of the Anjin's crew alive. He was like the lord here. You know the one I mean?
Yes, but it's a long time. It's a long time since I've read Shogun.
That's who I'm equating this guy to.
Mm. Yeah, same kind of guy. There were if you go through like Japanese feudal history, it's like there are more bad leaders than there were good leaders. It's like the last bad leader of Japan, believe it or not, was Hirohito, World War II.
Mm.
Because until the actual bombing of Japan started, he didn't even know they were at war. It came as a massive shock to find out that Japan had been at war for like 3 years. Because the military just never told him. Because it's like he's
surprise.
He's the head of state. He's got nothing whatsoever to do with like the army or the navy. It was the navy's fault. The navy was the problem. So they just never bothered to tell him that they were at war because he couldn't help them. There's nothing he could do. He was just kind of like, the son of God, literally. Every Japanese emperor is blood related to Amaterasu, the sun goddess. Because it was one of the things that was part. It was one of the. It was part of the Japanese surrender that he gave up his divinity back in 1945. Japanese history is awesome.
Yeah, at least this is, I like the fact that it's not holding back, if that makes sense.
Mm.
Like, it's not. There's this thing where we have to disparage our entire culture with the writing over here, especially the current trend. We must beat ourselves with rods and say we're terrible people.
Yes.
But this is showing, like, the institutions of, like, feudal Japan is doing shogunate. They're saying it was, first time it was fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It was just we've got a bad leader in that system. It's not the system. It's not the culture. It's just this guy's an absolute idiot. But people still function and have honor.
Yeah, yeah. Because this it's like apart from being able to literally go like off with your head, or murder people for no reason, or demand this and demand that. The feudal lords had very little to do with the day-to-day running of like the lands that they were in charge of. I mean, all they were there to do was to pass taxes on to the next guy up the chain.
But it sounds like this guy's that inept that he couldn't even do that.
Yeah, basically for whatever reason, be it like bad crops, one party too many. He left his wallet behind when he left a restaurant, that kind of thing. He's for some reason he can't pay his lord, and his lord himself is coming to visit. Right.
Or he's going to visit
right. Yeah, right. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what this guy is trying to do. Yeah, his lord is coming. He's the actual the next guy.
Yeah, the shogun.
Rung of the ladder is coming. Yeah, that guy is dead. He's not going to survive. He's going to be beheaded. They're going to force him to commit seppuku. The whole reason he's trying to find an amazing gift is because he knows that if he can't get his lord back in his lord's good books, he's dead. He's going to be replaced.
Mm-hmm. So he's trying to do this before the tax season because he knows it's coming up. So he's trying to get this all ready beforehand. Chris, he didn't actually shoot the bird. He shot at the bird, which is still idiotic. But the bird escapes. That's the whole point of this. It's Sushin Asoke is the falconer. So he's obviously tasked to go and retrieve the falcon.
And the falcon flies off in the direct. They're at the edge of it's like, right. The Japanese got a weird way of hunting with falcons. You know, if you're hunting with falcons in this country, you use them to like take birds out there and things like that. You use them to catch pigeons and things like that. Yeah. In Japan, they use them to flush prey. Which is why
drought baiting. It's the same as drought baiting.
Yeah, which is why when the rabbit comes running out, they all jump on the rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, if you think about it, a lot of Japan is covered by quite tall. A lot of like Japan, like the swamps and the open fields, the wild place in Japan is covered by like waist, maybe shoulder high grass and reeds. So instead of going in there and hunting, you need the prey to come out. So you train falcons to like carry them.
Yeah, but where we don't have that, so we'll have hounds.
Yeah, they use falcons for the same job that we use hounds.
Yep.
Or used hounds.
Yeah, but then that's just where Sushin Soke encounters Tomohime. Well, he encounters her kimono first. And he's just like, oh, that's really expensive just to be left lying around.
Splashing noise comes from the water.
Yeah.
I have to be honest, when the figure of Tomohiri first rises from like the water of the I'm sure it's a swamp. I'll call it a pond just to be nice. Rises from the water of the pond.
Like, it's not going to be a manky swamp. Like, no way. If somebody comes out of a manky swamp, you're not going to be standing there. You're going to be like, and then
my god! Oh, look at the pond!
Get it.
First thing I thought was it's like she's a traditional aristocratic Japanese beauty, incredibly pale skin, incredibly thin. First thing I thought was that girl could do with a good meal. Because God, she is thin. But it's kind of like the pale. If you have really pale skin, it's a sign that you spend all of your time indoors, which is incredibly sexy.
Is that the same? God, I remember back in the day. It was Cindy Crawford was talking about that. That she and her, before she went to the model agencies, she'd heard about this, so she started wearing hats and stuff when she was outdoors, so not to get a suntan, because it was considered gauche or something. Wasn't something the model agencies want. Or I don't know. Especially they don't want the worn look as if rugged outdoor stuff. Peasant. Basically, don't want to look like a peasant.
that's basically
Peasants
it.
work out in the
It's
sun,
like
and the peasants get sunburned because the peasants have to do the toil.
yeah, because they're the guys who are in the fields. They're the guys who are looking after the animals. It's like if you've got servants and stuff, and you don't have to do that. Surely you spend all your time indoors, away from the sun.
Yeah. That's where the term redneck comes from, isn't it? Because it's the farmer's tan in the back of the neck.
Yeah,
from toiling out in the fields.
but I still don't understand the fact why it was considered like nice to black your teeth out though.
Is that a geisha thing?
It's,
No, that's the next story. That's the next story.
It's but it is a thing. It is a thing that Japanese noble ladies etc. did. They would black their teeth. I know it's kind of like I have no idea why. It's like shaving off your eyebrows and then like penciling them back in 2 feet up your forehead.
Japanese women blackened their teeth, a practice called hohaguro, for several reasons. It was a sign of maturity and beauty, a status symbol, and it was believed to protect against tooth decay. The practice became popular in aristocratic circles before spreading to commoner women, wealthy married women, and geisha. It also created a stark visual contrast with the white face makeup, making smiles more visible.
I still think it's weird.
Yeah, but I think fake tan's weird.
Yeah, I agree with that.
There's nothing more chavvy or ugly than fake tan,
especially in the middle of winter.
Yeah, it just.
I mean, I am an Englishman. My natural color is pale blue.
Because you're from the north.
If I stepped out in the dark, I'd probably glow.
People can tell my love when I've been anywhere near the sun because I just feels like a slapped arse.
That's it. It's like right. My skin is very, very pale to the point where it's kind of like you can see my veins. If I go out in the sun for more than 5 minutes, I end up looking like very flaky lobster.
But that's style fashions. Like a medieval time, or not medieval, Victorian times. That powdery, shitty makeup.
Oh God.
That used to be worn. Man and woman, it was rancid. But anyway, that's we'll see this scene. Obviously, Tomohime comes up to Zurinosuke. That's a hard name to remember. But she forgets to kill him because Uma appears beside her.
Yeah, as you forgot to kill him, as you do.
And she kind of goes, "Oh, right." So it did, perplexed by it. But she calls the falcon Agari.
You don't find out why. You don't find out why for a while, though. Not until she actually explains the story to the falcon. I'm going to call him the falconer. I'm taking the easy way out.
Yeah, cheat.
Yeah, you don't find out why until like a later episode where she explains it to the falconer.
The only thing I don't like about this is the special effects music they use. So, like going through walls or opening a portal, to put that like fantasy music.
Oh yeah,
I find that really off-putting. It's only because they're playing the traditional Japanese music that throughout this, it fits with the tone. But then they put this like Western sorcerer style special effects stuff through it. That just really, I don't know why they made that decision.
I think it'd have been better on because it's like the entire thing is like seems to be based off a series of kabuki plays. It'd have been better if they'd used like the kabuki special effects, which is things like wobble boards and gongs.
Yeah, I would have fit it in because it would have fit in with everything else. But they've used this weird, strange Western sorcery effect, and it just doesn't fit.
Yeah, I've got to be honest. I struggled with the theme music. The ending theme tune is great, but the the one at the beginning is it's almost like rap.
Mm.
And I'm like, because it's like I listen to the music and try to guess what kind of like story it's going to be, and it completely threw me.
Yeah, it took a minute. Like it's so the first episode and a bit of the second, then it sort of settles itself down. And you don't I don't know what they were thinking. Like I said, it's the only bit that took me out of this. That'll be an easy dub though if they ever wanted to fix this.
Yeah.
But we also meet the evil spirits. Kick, 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 kick.
Kick. That is such a stereotypical laugh. It is like we are demons. Kick, 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 kick.
I have to say, they're the most pleasant, hospitable, jovial demons I've ever encountered in a story before.
Why? But
I'd go in for a pipe with those two.
See, it's a kind of like went down to the pub today, met two evil spirits, proper blokes. You know.
Well, yeah, I'll meet them next week again. You know what I mean?
We're going to meet up next week, play darts.
Yeah. That's exactly the impression I got of those two. It's like, I'd have a pint with those two, no bother.
It's kind of like we're going to kill you. You're going to die by our hands. Tomohime injures them in a quite embarrassing way if you think about it, and they go running away into the marsh, screaming at the top of their lungs, holding their asses in their hands, literally.
Yeah, I should heels off.
Yeah, and it's like a few minutes later when they come back, they're all best mates.
Yeah, it's like no harm, no foul. Yeah, we got spanked, sort of thing.
It's like Dragon Ball, where Goku beats the crap, meets an enemy, beats the crap out of them. As soon as the fight finishes, that's it, buds forever.
But is that not like every bar fight ever?
It's pretty much every bar fight, be it real or in a film or in a book or whatever. The moment the fight is finished, that's it. Everybody who's been taking part in the fight is friends.
Yep. The loser buys the next round, and the party carries on. End of story.
Yeah.
Very much. Like I said, these two, I don't know why they're called evil spirits, because honestly, they've got more humanity and compassion than the Lord, for example.
I'm going to say evil spirit or the ruler of the local area. I'd go evil spirit every day.
Anytime, yep.
Because it's like you can have a laugh with an evil spirit. If you try to have a laugh with the Lord over there, he'll probably have you killed.
Yeah, because what an absolute creature! Like that's the real evil creature in all of us is a Lord.
Like I said, everything that happens in this first story is his fault because he took a shot at that bird.
Mm-hmm. It's dropping the pebble in the pool, isn't it? The ripples.
Yeah. If he'd have just been slightly more patient, none of this would be happening.
But if you've never been told no in your life, these are the type of people that get produced.
He's exactly the same type of character as the granddaughter in the next story.
Mm-hmm.
Never been told no in their life, allowed to get away with everything they've ever wanted to do. And because they were allowed to do it as a kid, now they expect to do it as a grown-up. Actually, yeah. I know people like that in real life.
Most of them are on social media or on the news.
Yeah, this is true.
Paddles. That's why I can't do TV, because those sort of attention-seeking screeching harpies that appear in TV shows and interviews and news panels, they're just there to wind things up, and you can just tell they've never lived life. They've lived in a bubble.
They always seem to float to the top, and I don't know why.
Anger porn, rage baiting, whatever you want to call it.
They
know it's the pantomime villain. It's just done a different way.
Oh, that of course it is. Of course it is. It's behind you. It's totally the pantomime villain trope, isn't it?
Yep. That's the purpose those people serve. That's what they're there for. And if you get angry at them and react, and It's basically all about the algorithm, and you know, people tune into a show. You know the old story of the shock jock.
Yes,
The people that hate them tune in as much as the people that like them. You know,
just so they can hate on them. Yeah,
yeah.
Jerry. I can't deal with hate bait and stuff like that. I'm too tired.
No, that's what I said. That's why
I'd rather have a nap. Thank you very much.
No, but that's why I do this stuff, because I find it a more productive use of time than watching that drivel. Like that's brain dead material. Like you may as well just give up on life, because if that's what you do. Here's the whole tragedy of this as well, right? So we know that the Lord is an absolute dick. We know that this connection via the Falcon has been created between a human and a forgotten god, which we find out what they are. But the Falconer has a wife who loves him dearly. That's the real tragedy of this story.
He does, and you've got to be honest. From when you see her, she's gorgeous. I mean, she's everything a man could wish for. She's like she's friendly. She obviously loves him. She looks after the house.
Yeah.
She hasn't got a face like a cow's bum. You know, she's
reason, no antagonism, no putting him down. Fully supportive of him.
Yeah, supports everything he does, understands why he's got to do this because his lord has told him to, and he gets in trouble, apart from the bit where his lord gives him a sword.
Yeah, basically wraps the sword, gives it to him. If you don't find the Falcon, use that on yourself.
It's like, oh, it's wonderful. He's given you a sword that shows how much he believes in you. And he's like, no, my dear. He's given me the sword. He's saying that if I don't find the Falcon, I should kill myself. This scene takes place after, while he's sitting there on like his dais, because they don't really have phones. He's sitting there having like a meeting with his chosen officers and this falconer while having his toenails cut.
Yeah.
And the lady who is the maid who is clipping his toenails accidentally nicks his toe.
But that's because he's feeling her up while she's doing it.
Well, yeah, he's like, you at least sit still when somebody is close to you with a pair of really sharp blades.
That's what I mean. This is somebody that's so pampered that the thought of, well, I'm going to feel her up, grab her boobs and round her neck and stuff while she's doing this, and of course she's going to obediently give the best job ever. Like,
yeah. And I'm sorry, my lord, I've cut you. Don't worry. It's fine. Thank you, my lord. You're so compassionate. She gets up, turns around, he slices her in two with his sword from behind.
Yeah. Because he can't even kill someone like outright, because he's that much of a wimp and a coward and a little brat.
And then he gives the falconer the sword, which is probably like still warm from running this woman through.
Yeah, and what he even says to him, like, I'm sure you appreciate the significance of this sword. You know what I mean? So even then, the falconer, he's not a bad bloke. That's once again, this is the only person you can really hate, and this is the Lord.
That's it. It's kind of
he's
like
the only antagonistic character in this. Everyone else is ambiguous, and we've got moral quandaries, and what would you do, etc., etc. It is like a Greek tragedy.
It is. I was going to say it's like everything is the Lord's fault. It's like everybody who is hurt in this. It's like the falconer, his wife, Tommy Himmy, all of like Tommy Himmy's underlings. Yeah, every single one of them is put into the situation they are in because of this like knobhead in pink.
Yep, absolute brat.
The Lord wears pink. I have nothing against pink. It's just the fact that he wears pink.
It's one of the garish colors, isn't it? Because he's once again, he's not a warrior. He's not a hunter.
No,
He's
he'll
not a tactician. He's useless. He's just a popinjay.
yeah, he's just a figurehead and not a very good one at that. He is literally the guy who takes the blame. Like the taxes aren't going to be paid this year because reasons. It's his fault.
He's involved. Yeah, he can't manage his.
Yeah,
budget.
he's literally. If everything goes right, he is the guy who gets all the credit for it. Yeah.
Mhm.
If things go wrong, he's the guy who will take the fall. And it's a massive fall because he's basically going to be forced to commit seppuku. He's going to be forced to, if things go wrong, he's going to be forced to open his guts up, which could be, if you think about it, some of the reason why he's such a complete arsehole, because he's living the life while he can before he's forced to kill himself.
No, you don't have those sort of proclivities. That's deep, you know what I mean, from childhood. This is a deeply disturbed human being. Cruel, like
he could just be a figurehead. It's like some minister somewhere or someone higher up the chain has got has put him in that position so that he can take the fall for them, so they can blame him. That's another great thing they like to do.
That sort of makes sense.
Looking at you, elusive samurai, it's not horrible, it's great.
But so obviously Falconer, he's way out to retrieve Kojiro, and he meets the evil spirit. The way I keep saying evil spirits, he kept coming up with subtitles and stuff. Evil spirits.
Right.
Basically, I'm not bad at. I'm sorry, I'm not bad at evil spirits. But these two are excellent.
Basically, they're, instead of calling them evil spirits, it should have called them demons. They're Bakemono. They're demons. No, even better, they're Bakemono. They're goblins. Basically, they're goblins. A couple of goblin bandits. They were probably bandits who died in the swamps and came back as them. But it's like they are lads. They're not evil spirits. They are the kind of guys who you make friends with and have a really good time. You're going out tonight? Yeah, I'm going down to the pub to meet the evil spirits. We're going to have a couple of pints and a game of darts. You know, they're that kind of characters, and they're kind of like, the story's pretty grim. So I actually think they've been put in there as kind of like comic relief.
Yeah, just to lighten the tone a bit, and also third person perspective. You know, they have seen this 100 times before. They're sort of nonplussed by it.
Yeah,
the more like the readers that tell us the story.
Yeah. Because it's kind of like, oh no, somebody else has fallen in love with the forgotten god. We know where this is going.
Yeah. Remember 200 years ago when it happened last time? Yeah.
Oh, don't remind me. What? That guy with the dog? Give me that. This time it's a hawk. But it's kind of like the more you learn about that hawk, the weirder it gets.
Mm-hmm. But I just love the way the Falconer is just very casual about it all. Oh yeah, I met an elder god. Here's a couple of spirits coming to talk to me again. Life's good.
It's like he's the world's most chill falconer. It's like, if you don't get that falcon back, like, you're going to lose your head. Yeah, well, yeah, no problem, boss. That's fine. Where's the falcon? Is in that old castle over there, which is supposed to be haunted by evil man-eating spirits, and the only way to get there is to go through the haunted swamp that's full of even eviler spirits. Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, I'll go now then.
Yep.
This guy is either level-headed or the most resigned to his fate guy I have ever met.
Which makes it even more of a tragedy when the story unfolds. Like, not the fact that he meets Tomohime and falls in love or gets infatuated, but Just the fact he abandons his wife.
It,
It's like, and plus, as I found out in Shintoism, you can have more than one wife.
yeah,
So
Buddhism, not so. It's kind of like I've fallen in love with another woman. What's more is she's going to stay young forever because she's immortal. It's like, wow. It's I can't believe you just turned. Mind you, infatuation is a weird thing.
I've been there, and it's the after the fact. You're like, why did I do that? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, your brain does the weird things, and we've all seen the odd couple, etc. We've seen people that you think are there forever and they split apart and stuff. Yeah, it's a human condition, isn't it? It's we can't understand when the emotional button just gets pressed. Well, that's it. It's all your logic centers get overridden. And that's the sort of tragedy of this story, isn't it? That Tsunoshoki is a level-headed, very pragmatic, practical man and a loving man by the looks of things. And he just gets his head just completely turned by a forgotten god, a spirit,
But is
natural aspect.
is that part of who she is? Is that part because it's like they exist by luring men by well, who knows? They exist by luring people back into their castle so they can prey on them and feed on them. Is her law part of that?
No, because this is where we get the story of, as this story progresses, Aguri, the falcon, she calls the falcon Aguri. And we get the story of her creation, her mother.
The falcon is a reincarnation.
The shenanigator is here. Welcome. Good to see you, man. If you haven't already, head on over to Midnight Signal Podcast if you want to hear stories of UFOs. And actually, most of the stories have been UFOs so far. The stories you've covered. Conspiracy theories.
There's nothing wrong with a good UFO story.
No. These guys do really good. They do all the research and then just talk through, and then they're splitting up into various by either individuals or events. And they've done a couple. The first 2 episodes were paranormal based. Well, worth checking out. I think I've added it to one of the featured channels on our. So if you're on our YouTube main page, and at the bottom you see all the featured channels, it should be there. I added it. Want to go check it out? Right, where were we?
We were talking about
Aguri. So
Aguri's story.
Aguri turns out is Tomahimi's mother reincarnated, or her spirit has went into the spirit of the falcon, as she sees it anyway. The falcon's actually bringing these two together. Which adds another complexity to this.
I would say that opens up a whole new area of like premeditation.
Mm-hmm. I'd say these stories, like I said, this would be easily translated into a Greek tragedy, and the gods interfering with humanity. Like it's a cigarette paper, wafer thin cigarette paper between the two. Like if you just swap the samurai swords for short swords and sandals, in Mount Olympus, the castle for Mount Olympus, this could easily play out as a Greek story. The whole idea of gods interfering with humanity, humans, and the intimate connection between gods and humans, and the gods being capricious and almost a slave to their own desires as humans are. You're seeing this play out with us.
I've got this line going through my head now. It's kind of like, haha, I am Zushinosuke, and these are my Argonauts. Sorry, but it's like, I've got to be honest, I think tragedy is great no matter which country it comes from. But yeah, it's But it's kind of like so. Whose fault is this entire thing then? Is it like the Lord's fault? Is it the Falcon's fault? Is it like the Falcon's fault for being so weak-willed?
Is this not? Here's the thing that humans can't get their head around. The universe is random and unfeeling and uncaring, and it just takes the right set of circumstances to come together, and it could never happen. It could just happen. You hear about that perfect moment
Yeah.
and that perfect set of circumstances that you couldn't plan for in a million years. So that day of that falcon, in that hunting trip, that gunshot, just get over that particular lake, just as Tomahimi happened to be out swimming, which is, not something she indulges in all the time, just happened to all happen at the same time. And bring in the concept of reincarnation, of the souls looking for each other, and these circumstances just bringing them all together. That how could you begin to blame? Or it's like, you set a fire and like little wisps fly about, and it's like them all going and forming a pattern in the sky, perfect, like a flower or a dragon or something. Like, you couldn't plan that.
We're blaming the universe.
Yeah, which is unblameable because it's just random and fast, and this is a blink in an eye. Like, this could have happened on that day, or never happened again, or 1,000 years from that point. It's one of them things. Which I like. The story is, it's not trying to tell you who to blame or who to take sides with. You're left as the viewer to make up your own mind.
Dude,
And that's down your own moral compass, if that makes sense.
It's just a good, well-written tragedy.
But it turns out Tomahimi's mother, Aguri, also fell in love with a human. And through that union, Tomahimi was born. And it was actually that caused tragedy, ended up why the castle ended up the way it did. And she's almost doomed to repeat the same steps or fall into the same trap.
Why didn't you kill the humans, says the crow. Because she forgot. But did she? Did she really?
Yeah, then she stops herself and goes, did I forget? She even questions herself with that, goes, oh, I don't know. Here's the thing. I know it's a horror trope, so we know we're in a spooky, bad place. But see this whole bones lying about everywhere?
Yeah.
That's the equivalent of just eating your dinner off the plate and leaving the plate and not scraping into the bin. Very uncouth.
Yeah. Either that or it's the maid's day off. I mean, they could be the bandits. It's the maid's day off. It's like the plates from last night's feast are still on the table. But then again, isn't it normally a thing that evil man-eating creatures tend to leave like the bones of their victims on the floor as a warning to those who come after?
But then that defeats the purpose if you're a predator.
Yeah, or is it just a sign of like the falconer's infatuation with Tomahimi, that he's willing to look forward, look over these things, or because his wife sees them as well? Is it a sign of like his wife's love for him, that she is willing to walk past these bones that obviously show that man-eating creatures live here? Is it a sign of her bravery that she's willing to overlook those in the search of her husband, or is it all three?
It could be all three. I know it's a storytelling device, but my problem is, maybe it's me, but clean up after yourself. Like, have Like same as vampire movies wind me up when the bodies are left everywhere and the blood,
Yeah, it's
like more blood sprays around the walls than they actually drink. That's why they have to eat all the time because like if they just actually finish one human,
yeah.
they'd be all right.
It's like when you go to a haunted house and it's like the door to the crypt is open. Where you're born in a barn, shut the door after you.
Yeah.
I honestly, it made me smile when I saw the bones everywhere. But I honestly think it's just like it's a plot device to keep the people who haven't been like taking that much attention up to speed.
I suppose. It just annoys me. It's like, come on, just clean up after yourselves. Come on. What are you? They're supposed to
They've
be
been they've
like,
been there for a while as well, because damn, those bones were picked clean.
well, that was an interesting point because one day in the castle is equivalent to a year on Earth, so there's like a time displacement, and we know that this shifts realities as well
Mm.
when like with the bandits.
Yeah, I love that idea. It's one day
Yes,
here.
it bloody is.
What one day here is a year in real life. How, considering how many days he seemed to spend there, how long was his wife willing to wait for him?
2 years. Oh, 3 years.
That woman should be taken and cast in gold. She really should.
Absolute trooper. Like she's my favorite character in all this. Like the one I feel sorriest for. She did nothing wrong.
I kind of want to know what happens to her after the end of it. Do you know, in the real story for this is how after this all finishes, she goes on to find happiness and the love of her life.
Absolutely, because she deserves nothing less. What a champion.
Because what I think happens to the guy in the end is some other lord shoots at him.
Well, he transforms and goes off for Tommy Henny.
It's got a very this story's got a very Chinese ending to it. That's all I can say. But it's like, yeah.
But yeah, just the fact, I've got a wife, she's lovely, and yeah, stuff her now. Yeah, I'm with you. And even better, let's act like 12-year-olds. We're going to run away to the next town and live life. No resources, no money, no because you just don't do that. You don't, especially in equivalent. This is basically equivalent to medieval times. You just don't rock up in a village. That was the whole point of villages and close-knit communities. Your path was set out. You just don't rock up somewhere else. That doesn't happen.
But she's a god and he's an idiot. They can do whatever they want to. I've already decided this guy's an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I think it's a tragedy for him. It's a tragedy for the falconer's wife. It's a tragedy for
the army.
It's a tragedy for Tomohime. I couldn't care less about him.
Yeah.
He's not my favourite person.
But he seemed like a pretty stand-up chap until until we realised that he has a wife and he just abandons her. You're like,
yeah, it's like
and she didn't cast a spell on him. If she put him under a spell or a glamour, I would squint past it.
See, that's why I was wondering whether or not the sudden infatuation he feels with her is kind of like part of who she is. Because there's no reason apart from the fact he's seen her with no clothes on when she stepped out of the lake, and it's like see, when he actually realizes, when she says, that's mine, can I have it please, he gives it her and then he turns around so he doesn't have to watch her dress.
Yeah, he bows his head and that was all. That's what I said. Up until the moment
it's a bit too late when you've seen them walking out of the lake towards you, though, isn't it? I mean,
yeah, but you can still, be polite.
It's like I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean to watch you while you were naked. Nice tits, though. It's.
We've all been there. But
I've never
like
seen.
I said,
so it's like everybody's seen a naked woman coming out of a lake apart from me.
You need to go better lakes.
It's because there's no decent lakes around where I live. That's the problem. But it's just kind of like it's kind of like it's almost as if it's like Zushanosuke, the falconer. It's kind of like it's almost like he is the instrument, and he's causing tragedy for two other people.
Mhm.
Because even though she's like a man-eating monster, it's like Tsushima she just come across as being like a pretty alright kind of person. And she's not evil. She's just what she is.
Well, it was explained. If they don't eat human flesh, they are racked with pain. If
Mm.
Do you know the best explanation? You know, Return of the Living Dead,
Yes.
when they have the zombie on the table, and they are actually able to communicate and go, "Well, why do you do this? If I don't, it hurts. It hurts so much
Mm.
that's why I have to eat brains."
Mm.
Like that was the most human scene ever in a zombie movie of all time, and it's never been repeated.
Because the people have given people, especially in horror stories, especially in the West, yes, no longer humanize the monsters in the films.
No, it's
It's
this
like that's what that's
anti-hero trope, which is
yeah.
ridiculous.
It's one of those things. It's like as we go like farther down the rabbit hole and we cover more and more horror anime, you will find out there's hardly any anime where the monster is just a monster because it's a monster.
Mhm.
They always have reasons. They always have backstories, and they take great pleasure telling you these reasons and giving you the backstories.
Well, like I said,
It's like, can you imagine? Can you imagine if this was like a Western horror story? It's like I bet you any money. Tomahimi would probably be a vampire, and the most intelligent thing she would do during the entire thing is like hiss at the camera, in the same way they made Christopher Lee do in Dracula.
yeah, God, I need to. I can't. I need to. That's why I've taken a break from the Hammer horror franchise, because that last one broke me. And
It,
I need a bit of a break before I start watching them again, because I'm like, I can't do any more
Hammer,
right now.
Hammer, Hammer should have given up many years before they
I need
finally.
to finish, but my completionist side of me needs to finish that series. There's only like 10 movies to go, and I need to finish it. But at the same time, I got burned a bit there with the last couple. I'm like,
It's 10 whole movies. If each movie is 90 minutes long, just think of the time you could do with what you could do with all those hours.
oh yeah, yeah.
But it's kind of like you will. It's very rarely you will find an inhuman monster. Even if it is an inhuman monster, it will still have a reason for what it does.
Yep.
It will still be explained to you why that monster is doing the things it will do. Something they don't seem to do in like I say, something they don't seem to do in Western horror anymore. In Western horror, like the monster is the monster because there needs to be a monster in this monster film.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like in this one, it's like the monster is a monster because the monster used to be a husband. The monster is a monster, but the monster is attracted to a guy. So the monster is doing the monstrous things it's doing to be closer to this person, or it's giving up because it's like because of Tomahimi's like infatuation with this guy. She causes the death of everyone around her.
Yeah, her entire retinue, including her advisor, who had also advised their mother, Uma. You know, Uma is the Jiminy Cricket, the conscience in this. And like I said, she does nothing wrong. She just wants to survive. She wants the lineage to continue.
Mm.
And also, they don't eat they don't indulge. They don't.
No, they don't
They
go out.
only take what's necessary, and it's only those that are prepared to make the journey.
Yeah,
with bad intentions.
it's like they think like the only thing we've seen them like slaughter so far for food is a bunch of bandits.
Yeah.
Who go around killing people.
So
it's like because these monsters exist in this castle, the area is safer. They never leave the castle apart from to bathe in the occasional pond. But was she there deliberately because she knew the falconer was going?
once again, this is down to the wills of the gods and the universes. Like, isn't this the eternal question between, is the future set? Are patterns to repeat? Are we all meant to go the same patterns, or do we have free will? Can we break a cycle? This has always been the eternal question of humanity.
See, personally, I think she was there deliberately. because because there must be some reason why the advisor knew that those bandits were going to be there at that time. I don't think that was just like a chance encounter.
Obviously, the set of watch, they know when people are coming within a certain range. They still have to, like I said, they have to eat human flesh, so they can't just sit in the castle and wait. They have to be proactive. But one thing I'm appreciative of is they don't raid. Like there's a town, they don't raid it. They don't kidnap babies. Blah blah blah. You know, they're not on the highways at night grabbing people. It's actually very civilized the way to go about their existence.
Just because you're a monster doesn't mean you have to be monstrous.
Yeah. The jury's out in Tomahime. That if she was doing that deliberately, etc., that would be far too convoluted. That's like somebody trying to write into a story today.
I am of the opinion that it wasn't a chance encounter. I am of the opinion that she's been watching the Falconer for a while and she knew he was there.
Oh, there is a scene where she's watching him, isn't there? When he goes away. Possibly. Like I said, jury's out. It seems a wee bit too contrived.
Yeah, there's enough leeway, there's enough slack. Right, if you think about it, it's an incredibly tight story. But even though the story itself is incredibly tight, there's enough slack, there's enough leeway for your own personal interpretation on what's happening, because the actual black and white of the story isn't actually explained to you.
No, and that's what I appreciate, because we can have this discussion.
Yeah,
it's like we enjoyed the story. Like I said, we
can have this discussion. It's like somebody else could watch this series, come and join us with their side of the discussion and have a completely different idea about it. It's one of the things I love. It's one of the things I love about anime as a genre is the fact that it allows you enough wiggle room that you can put your own little theories and ideas in there.
And that's something I've appreciated actually since I've started this segment. Is we're not covering the mainstream, one or two, but we're not covering mainstream anime. It isn't the cartoons, it's not Dragon Ball Z and all that kind of stuff. These are the sort of the quirky ones. These are the, there's hundreds of these, and they're unique. And
there's hundreds of them. We've got a list. There's hundreds of them. We've got a list. We've got a wheel.
Which is something else. There's actually a spin-off series from this called Mononoke, which I think is based off the last story, which we'll cover next one. We already had one of the movies on the wheel. So I went and I've added the series in the second movie. So there's two movies and a TV series spun off from this called Mononoke.
I wonder if Mononoke takes part in the forest or up a mountain. Because it's like Ayakashi. This Ayakashi, yeah? Ayakashi are to do with water. Mononoke are to do with land. They're like they're the polar opposites of each other. Well, these are water spirits.
Yep.
And Mononoke are like mountain spirits and things like that.
Well, the story of Mononoke is that he's a herbalist, he's a healer, and he travels battling.
Oh, yes, I know the series.
Right. Well, that's a spin-off from this. Not. I don't think this story, but I think it's the third story.
Yes, because he's a healer who goes and sorts problems, and then later on in the series, he goes back, he revisits the locations to see how things are see what's happening and how things are going on. If it's the one I'm thinking about, yeah, I'll watch that again.
Yeah, well, it's on the wheel.
Yeah, but we've got like we've got so much more we need to come up with before then.
Oh yeah. Without it, like. It never ends. It's never going to end.
It's never going to end.
I don't think we're ever going to run out of stuff.
There's far too much.
So they decide they're going to live and die together. That's it. They're going to run off like a
Mhm.
couple of teenagers. But both of them have responsibilities. I suppose that's the point of the story: is abdicating responsibilities leads to tragedy.
Mm.
Because Sushinosuke has a family and his duties to his lord, despite the lord being a dick. It's the institution. It's your honor, isn't it?
Yes.
He's
Yeah,
abandoning his
it is.
honor.
It is. He's like he can't abandon his honor for too long.
Yep. Tomohime has basically her vassals, her retinue.
She has responsibility to her lineage.
Her strength is directly tied to their strength. So if she abandons them, they're nothing. That's why she's the princess, and that's why it's not so much hers as a position of responsibility and service,
Mm.
where the Lord is sort of the antithesis of her. He's a product of pampering and ludicrousness and overindulgence.
I've got several terms for him, but I won't use them.
Yep.
But it's kind of it's already if memory says it's already been mentioned, the fact at the beginning before we meet Tomohime in person. It's mentioned that she stopped feeding. She stopped feeding on humans, and like her power is waning, and like the people. It's like her retinue is worried about her because if she stops feeding, they lose their immortality. Because that's what they're on about. They're going to live. They're going her and the Falcon are going to live together. She's going to move away from the castle. She's going to stop feeding on humans. She's going to die a normal person's death. She's going to grow old. She's going to go grey. They're going to live together, and then they're both going to die of old age.
Which was exactly the fate of her own mother.
Yes.
Which caused the first tragedy, and this is where they are now. I love why they call the sweet that he gave her Dongo, just for better knows.
That what are these? We already know that she can't taste sweet.
Mm-hmm.
She can't taste because I hate to say, do you know that little candy? I know exactly what they are because I've got a bag of them here.
All right.
Damn you Italians and your sweets.
Dongo for the Falcon.
Yeah, there's little candy. Yeah. But it's just kind of like it's like, and they're gonna live together, and she's going to learn what sweet is, which is kind of adorable, but at the same place makes me want to go up to the Falcon and give him a good slap.
Yeah, because once again, he has a happy home. What's he doing? Obviously, as well, the fact that Falcon is goading us along as well by not coming back or choosing his new master. You almost feel like these are just playthings, like they've really no control over their actions. This is a story that's played out before. It's doomed to repeat again.
And say it's the same tragedy we've seen a million times, just told in a new way.
Yeah, that's why we can resonate. That's why it's not alien to us. These are human stories. We can resonate with them. That's why we connect with the characters, and that's why we're like, we've all seen that in real life as well as other stories. It happens. The assassination attempt by Sasaki, almost desperation. And the fact that she's the first to perish when Tomohime basically protects Tsuchinosuke is the first major step in the downfall of the Forgotten God's house.
She deserved a better end than that. I quite liked her character as well.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. There's only one truly despicable character in this. That's Prince Andrew.
Or are there? Because the Falcon could also be a despicable character because it's you could say it's purely his fault that Tomohime is being pulled away. And look at the amount of crap he's causing for his wife and probably his lord.
But he's sad about it.
Can't be that sad.
Once again, I think there's just bigger. I think this is just like I said, it's very similar to a Greek tragedy. The fact that gods are involved and a higher power is pushing these people that he's almost no control over his actions, and he's almost looking at himself, carrying out this stuff, and even he's like regretful to his wife.
There
He
are
still loves
parts.
her, but his head's completely turned.
There are parts with Tomohime though, where it's kind of like oh, my mother did this, and I have to make exactly the same mistakes that she did.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's this whole sense of larger forces are at play, and that's part of the tragedy of it. Like I said, that's what I mean. That's what makes it intriguing. It's like they know they're doing wrong. They know it's only going to lead to bad places, but they're compelled.
What they basically need is good slap.
Good slap, cold shower.
Good slap,
Nice
cold
walk.
shower. Shot of bromine, bar of chocolate. It'll be fine.
Get back to work. Get back to life.
You've got a lovely wife. She loves you. She's willing to follow you. She's willing to follow you to a haunted castle full of evil man-eating spirits.
And wait for 2 years.
And wait for 2 years to get you back. It's like, do you not know what side your bread is buttered, man? It's, oh, but I'm in love with this immortal being who's going to outlive you by a large amount. Yeah, but it's like when you're old and wrinkly, she'll be running off with some younger bloke. I've seen that anime as well. I know which way this is going. Trust me, I know where we're going with it. It's just kind of like it's the fact you can see what's going to happen, and as you watch, it's like the consequences are just getting worse and worse and worse and worse. I like it when the advisor, the old crow.
You may have made 2 marriages, to be honest.
It's like, ooh, that bad.
It's like, this is a bad idea. Why have you done this? Oh shit, this is getting worse. Oh no.
It's like damn, it's the third time you've had to live through this nightmare. Oh, but it's kind of, I love the way the crone turns up with a face like soured milk and basically goes, "You're coming home with me."
I love
and
that.
She does. 1 minute they're sitting there eating dango and she's really, really, really enjoying it, and the next thing you know, she's back at the castle because Mum's told her to come home.
Yep, spank bottom.
Auntie.
Clip right, you know that whole clip right here. Come you home with me, young woman. Who do you think you are?
Yeah, you can see like the evil spirit in the background, like bag of nuts, half a pint of something frothy, just like in the background.
And that's kind of what they do throughout this whole story, which is fantastic.
They're kind of like the damn it, they're kind of like an emotional mirror, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like things are going on, things are getting worse and worse and worse, and things are happening, and they just kind of like sit in the background, quipping about it, acting as like a slight moral compass for the viewer.
They're almost like Statler and Waldorf, aren't they? The Muppets.
Oh, there's an image. They're exactly like Statler and Waldorf on the Muppets.
Look at these two fools are going to enter a limit.
That's it. We need to make a video of Statler and Waldorf, but using that laugh.
Oh, Mama Drew has made it in. Welcome to the madness as we talk about animation.
Madness? What madness is this?
Absolutely. Of course, Sushinosuke goes back home, but he keeps Tomohime's comb. That's like having naughty pictures on your phone. That's the equivalent of having naughty pictures of your ex.
He's had that for a while though, hasn't he? Because wasn't it the first time it was either at the lake or the first time he went to the castle that fell out of her hair, and he's had it literally in his kimono next to his heart ever since.
Yeah,
the weirdo. I mean, there's a bit of obsession going on here, isn't there?
That's like keeping that one thing from your ex that really it's not vital. and not being able to let go. You know, I mean, that's basically what that signifies. And the fact that he keeps it in a box in his treasured possessions, and effectively, how long's went past now. Um, and the fact he got forgiven as well.
His wife is too good for him.
She's obviously made some inroads and got him. You know, I could imagine her prostrating in front of the Lord or doing something, but being that savvy that she's managed to convince somebody to basically swear that he didn't have to use the fact that he lost his Lord's sword as well. Like he doesn't come back with the falcon, he doesn't come back with the sword that he's given, like on pain of death.
It's the thing is, it's like how long has he spent? Right, considering that like one day in that castle is a year of time passing outside. How many years has he been in that castle? And just exactly when is his Lord coming to visit him for that falcon?
No, it was mentioned that he basically he was given his position back and he was allowed to continue, and the Lord attempted to go with something else to the Shogun and wasn't even let in the gates. Like he was shooed away like a peasant.
I'm right. I'm pretty sure. I remember that scene. Yes, where his wife comes up. Is like the falconer's wife begs the daimyo while he's in his like little sedan chair kind of thing. Please give my husband one more chance, and it's like the chair's kind of like squeaky, 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 rocking on its suspension.
Yep, and another poor girl bites the dust.
Yeah, it's like he gets so angry into that the young lady he is doing whatever he's doing in there with, he basically gets killed by him.
Yep.
What a sleaze! Oh, honestly.
There's something definitely. That's the sort of person that like that thinks the animals and all in his childhood, like just one of them twisted. But he's just a plot device at the end of the day.
He is. He's completely. He's kind of crap. What's the term for it? He's a foil. He's something because it's kind of like right. The falconer. The falconer is a fool. He's an idiot for all the things he is doing. But hey, at least he's not as bad as this guy.
And he shows some remorse and. Though his wife sort of puts it down, you were entrapped by an evil spirit, you know, even though she's basically caught him doing the dirty with her.
Yeah. I'm going to say she walks up the stairs. She sticks her head over the top of the stairs onto the landing, and the falconer, and the forgotten god are basically doing the horizontal shuffle. And it's like, and she just kind of goes, okay then.
Yeah.
She's too good for him, you know.
Absolutely. Like
I'll stand in court and state that she's too good for him. Because you see, the tragedy is what is happening to her.
Yeah, none of it's her fault.
Yeah, couldn't care about him. He's a knobhead.
The fact they kept the comb, you know, I mean that's another.
Yeah.
I mean, you could put everything else down, but the fact they kept the comb and then went back when. What made them go back now?
I think he just went back because I'm pretty sure he just went back because he wanted to go back.
No, but why were they going to attack the castle? Because I know they sent out parties, but they never returned, and then they're giving up basically retrieving the falcon as a lost cause. But God, I can't remember now.
Oh, good, it's not just me. I like there is damn it. Hang on a minute.
I can't remember exactly what happened, but it was obviously something to do with the Lord. One of his fancies or something happened. Sinashowski in a massive like a demonstration. He cuts off his top knot, which is a massive thing for a samurai to do.
Indeed.
And basically says to his wife he's no longer here. Use this to collect your pension, collect my pension, etc. But I'm dead to you now, sort of thing.
Oh yeah, that's it. I'm no longer alive. I'm a corpse. I'm dead to everybody. And then he walks off.
No, he left it a note. I can't remember why they attacked the castle. How this all built up. Got to watch this yesterday as well. Flip's sake.
He's right. Let's have a look. Shinosuke returns home and marries his fiancée Oshizu. Right. However, Oshizu finds a comb from Yome. Yome being a ghost, and she tells Lord Harima that the falcon is still at Shirasagi.
Oh, that was why she went to the.
Harima orders the castle. That's it. That's the scene where she's like she's kneeling down in front of the fun bus, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
God,
Shinosuke returns to Shinosuke goes back to the castle to warn Tomohiro.
I know he was warning her of the attack. I just couldn't remember how the attack. That's right. Like hell hath no fury, like a woman scorned, etc. Yeah,
because he's there at the castle. It's like Tomi succumbs to their relationship again, and it removes her followers' immortality. So they're still stupidly powerful as they should be,
but they're killable.
They can bleed. Tenchu Monogatari.
Like the soldiers, you can't blame the soldiers in this either. They're following orders.
I'm one of these people.
They're not even particularly cruel.
Yeah, I don't blame soldiers for doing anything anyway, because a soldier is just following the orders of someone else. Reality or fantasy, they're only just doing what they've been ordered to.
Well, obviously, reality is it's not that simple. If you cannot follow unjust laws, orders, so you're briefed. If somebody says massacre those villages, you go, with all due respect, sir, fuck off, and I'm putting you in handcuffs.
They all did.
Card Alpha. Or the old yellow card. The thing called the Geneva Convention, anyway. But anyway, that's digressing.
I also thought the Geneva Convention was just more of a set of guidelines.
Well, don't shoot up civilians is one of them. Don't just go massacre people. Don't be in it. Stab prams.
That don't work. You've only got to look at what's happening in the Middle East.
Well, we'll not go there. Silly sand people. They'll never change.
No, so she
But yeah, the soldiers basically walk into a trap, like it's obvious, and I think even they know they're walking into a trap.
At least their lord's gone with them on the attack. No. Although, like most like most officers do, they're sitting behind the scenes, enjoying a drink.
Yep. Like he hasn't even got the stones to be even like go up there. He's sitting in the pavilion, like a little child. What a horrible creature.
I know, right? Good God.
But Asujo, she's like basically running in the battle herself. Like she's not messing about. She's no fear whatsoever.
She's gonna get her husband back. She's gonna get her husband back before he can get himself killed.
At this point, it would be more a point of principle, because let's be honest, like she's been utterly betrayed, not just once. Like I said, the first time you can put down the enchantment, but second time, nah. I don't know. Like that is severe duty, or just I don't know, wanting to get him back for the sake of it. I don't think it's blind love. She seems too sensible to be just blindly in love.
After everything that happened, she married him.
That's like the first time I could understand he was bewitched. You could write it off, if that makes sense.
Mm.
But when he goes back to the castle, no.
That is one of the reasons why I say that Tomohime isn't as innocent as she appears. Because surely, if she is a god, even a forgotten god, she would have the power to send him away, and he wouldn't be able to get back in that castle.
But was that the moral quandary, though? That's the whole point of this. Is that they're both compelled to be together, and it's almost like they don't have will. That's what I mean. There's another force, and that's where Kojiro, the falcon, is almost the personification of that. That's the falcon represents the universe pushing these two together and causing a set of events to recreate itself.
See,
and almost like a like an unending cycle.
Yeah.
And this is bound to repeat itself every 100 years or every 200 years or something, or every 1,000 years.
I spent until right at the end, I actually wondered whether or not the Falcon was just an excuse, as if the story she made about the Falcon was made up. Because it's like, is she telling the truth with this story, or is she just lying to get what she wants?
No, because
my life is a tragedy, Falconer. Love me like you loved my Falcon.
No, because Uma is not subservient. She's a servant. She's an advisor, but she's not subservient to Tomohime. And Uma has seen this play out before with her mother. And Uma is advising her against it, so she knows full well she is not the demonic equivalent or the spiritual equivalent of the Lord. They're opposite sides of the coin, opposing forces, if that makes sense.
Yuma is one of the few characters in this anime that's got their head screwed on right.
Oh yeah, she's an absolutely fantastic character. She is, like, if you're halfway sensible, when she speaks, you listen. And she still has authority over her. Like the fact that she'll go to the village and go, right, you home now.
Yeah, see, that's
silliness.
It's like in a way though, Tomohime and the Lord of like the Samurai Lord are the exact same character, because neither of them listens to their advisor.
No, and they're both creatures of compulsion. And that's why indulgence and compulsion are two different things. You're the master of your indulgences, if that makes sense. If you want to indulge in something, you decide, but if it's a compulsion, that thing controls you. And you're a master of indulgence, slave to compulsion. And they're both, the Lord and Tomohime are slaves to compulsion. And Zunosuke is a slave to compulsion as well. And everyone else is trying to navigate through this, basically these worlds colliding. And it was almost destined that they weren't going to live side by side peacefully. This clash was always going to happen, if that makes sense. Think of Helen of Troy. It was just a reason. Oh God, who was it kidnapped her? Shit.
Was it Paris? Or am I thinking of the wrong Greek myth?
It's the wrong. Achilles' Lord. Oh my God. Forget. But he, the fact that I was almost like the fates were designed for these two, for Sparta and the Troy to clash, if that makes sense. It was always going to happen. This just happened to be the reason. The Lord, the humans and the forgotten gods were always destined to clash. That's what the universe was, setting it up. This just happened to be the mechanism. Hence why these two in particular had no free will or limited free will to act against their compulsion. They're slaves to it because the universe wants this to happen. The forgotten gods are an affront to nature. We'll sort of get that notion anyway. Even the goblins tell us that they're not quite of the world. They're not of the next world. They're not of this world. They're trapped, and it's almost to release them. you know, I mean, this is the universe trying to rebalance itself. Like I'm getting a deeper story from this. That's why I'm enjoying it so much, because there's like a philosophical level to this story, you know, so-called simple story of love and cheating and, you know, loyalty that's bigger. No?
No, I'm agreeing with you. But it's it's like the story. It's just kind of, how can I put it? See, there's more to the story, but I see more to the story from a different direction.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, one of the great things about this story is that there is enough wiggle room within the plot where you can make different assumptions and have different ideas about the party, about the story. It's not fixed in concrete.
No. That's a good story. A good story is where 3 or 4 people can sit around and have come at it from different angles, and none of the theories or nothing what we're talking about or the ideas behind it take away from the story, and we don't go into 2 camps. I really like this. You suck. Blah blah blah. Which I absolutely fucking despise about modern Western culture writing.
Yeah,
there's Western culture storytelling. That's why I'm absolutely disgusted with it, because it's if you don't like this, you're not in our gang, and that's the fucking extent of it, and it pisses me off.
My story is this story, and if you can't understand that my story is this story, it's because you're too stupid for this story. Don't read my stories.
And if you like this story, you're this, blah blah blah. It's like you see it with a movie now. A movie comes out, and instantly on social media, people are like, well, if you're in the part of the cool gang, you'll like this. Doesn't matter what it is. They've just decided, they haven't even watched it. They've already, you know, they've picked a side, and then you've got the haters who are always going to hate on the movie, and then you either join one camp or the other, and it's retarded. It's just maddening.
I can't join their camp. I'm having too much fun in mine.
I just like, and they tried to do it. Sure, look at the fucking live action remakes and the adaptation they've tried to do with anime and did the same thing. I'm looking at you, Cowboy Bebop. In fact, I'm looking at you, Death Note. Fuck you, Death Note. That was an abortion of a movie.
I don't know why, but you mentioned the Cowboy Bebop live action. I had a stabbing pain in my left arse cheek. I've got no idea why.
I didn't even watch it. I just saw the trailer.
I never saw it. I didn't need to see it.
The actors went, "Oh, the Faye Valentine fucking costume's too hard." 5,000 pictures of cosplayers appear. Oh yeah, so difficult. Fuck off.
Yeah. Oh, the pain.
Yeah.
But yeah, because all they had to do.
All I can say is praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Taika Waititi did not get his hands on Akira. I'd have fucking hunted that.
I've got to be honest. I am actually curious of how that would have turned out in the same way that when you're driving down the road and there's been a hideous road accident, you slow down and have, like, you know, a goon. You slow down to look what's happening. It's that kind of thing. It's like it's kind of like blind crossing a busy road kind of curiosity about what the live action.
Yeah, that you see the car pile up, and you know you're not meant to look, but you're automatically going.
You know you're going to.
Morbid curiosity, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I'd love to have seen how it turned out, but at the same time, I am so glad that it didn't. Because there doesn't need to be a live action of Akira, because Akira already exists. It's like this. Ayakashi. Does a live action version of this need to exist?
Oh God, no.
I've checked. There isn't one.
Absolutely not.
Now,
would I like to see series with traditional storytelling? Yes.
Oh,
I would like to see us go back. I would like to see fairy tales done again. I would like, once again, back to the grim fairy tales, back to back to our roots, local fairy tale. I mean, we need to dig into the resources, of our traditional storytelling and tell them as is, our folklores, our legends. I think we need to reconnect with our land,
Yeah,
where we are.
I definitely agree with. There are plenty of really, really good fairy tales that have come out of this country, but they get ignored because they haven't been Americanized, and Hollywood has no interest in them.
The world existed. The world of filmmaking and storytelling existed before Hollywood. It'll continue after it. Honestly, I'm sick of hearing that shit, especially today when it's easier than ever to make material.
Just think,
with the technology today, I'm just even talking about camera technology.
Yeah,
it's easier than ever if you're motivated and talented to create. And it's back to why train as a chef, going to work at a fast food chain and not open up your own restaurant. You know what I mean? It's that sort of why get a business degree if you're going to work in the civil service? That sort of shit. It's like, why would you be a creator just to go and churn out slop? And why do people see that as the like people want to get noticed doing stuff to go into that? It's like, nah, I don't agree with it. But once again, people are lazy, comfortable, like their own hubris and familiarity. It's just that it's a struggle. It's human nature, and sometimes we'll have to fight against human nature. It's the same as this. These are people who are fighting against themselves. They know what they're doing is wrong. They know there's ramifications of their actions. They know a lot of people are going to get hurt, but they're doing it anyway. And the tragedy ensues. That the battle, is just a macro, sense of like a battle between these two is sort of big thing. But the real tragedy is obviously Oshisuzu. Sorry, my apologies. Who's still at the very end trying to save her husband, trying to save their home. And yeah.
Well, at least the Lord gets his comeuppance.
Yep.
I'm not going to complain about that bit.
No, he needed that.
God, we've been waiting for that since he first showed up.
Yeah, that was a waste of human skin, if ever there was one. But yeah, then we get the rebirth. Obviously the other forgotten gods transcend to the spirit realm or merge with Tomihime. Tomihime transcends. Zonoshiku, he's basically evolved into something else now because of his connection.
Yeah, he's killed enough people that he's actually starting to turn into a demon. Because that's how you become a demon, you kill people. So yeah, I've got the bit where it's the final showdown between him and the Lord, and we know it's not going to be a very good fight.
No, because the Lord is a coward and a weakling.
The Lord basically just gets up and starts to run away, and he just cuts him down. What a heel! Ah, God.
No, and then once again the evil spirits.
They go and talk about the entire thing over a pint and a bag of scratchings.
Yep.
They are the best characters in this.
They are the Grimm brothers. You know what I mean? They're just walking the land.
Awesome. They are so cool. I've got to be honest. It's like they should the entire story should be about them. None of this tragedy nonsense. Just like those two.
They'd have a cracking series on their own. Honestly, those two characters, I could easily see them roaming the land and telling stories, and being from their point of view as to watch events unfold.
See, that'd be fantastic.
But they're just nonplussed because they've seen this before 100 times and they'll go and watch it again. But yeah, that was Yatsu Ghost Story, and I genuinely enjoyed this one.
Got to be honest, I enjoyed it, but parts of it infuriated me, as if you can't tell. You know,
It was designed to.
It's like, ugh, for God's sake, all you've got to do is literally make it so his knees bend in the opposite direction, and he will never go there again. It's like all you've got to do is kind of like use your incredible, you know, your god magic, and he will be gone forever. But it's like, but I love him.
No, but once again, that's the whole point of a tragedy, isn't it? That's the whole point of a horror story. You have to watch the person do the stupid thing, the foolish thing. That's always been the point of the horror genre, is to demonstrate why you don't do the thing. It's not enough.
The horror of this was watching them run away. Run away together as if they were extras in Twilight.
Mm.
The Twilight moment. It's like, if he'd have started, it wouldn't have surprised me if they just started like sparkling in sunlight. But yeah, I rate this one quite highly. I really enjoyed this one.
Mm-hmm. And I could picture it as kabuki play, and I could picture it as a shadow puppet. This is something I could see as a shadow puppet, or you know.
I think doing a little bit of poking around in the background, I have found out that the name of the actual kabuki play, the actual kabuki theatre play, that this is taken from, is called The Goddess of the Dark Tower.
Oh yeah, I heard that. I read that.
So one to look out for. I don't think we'll find it on YouTube.
Do you know what? Have tab will search.
It's going to be there, isn't it?
But once again,
something Goddess of the Dark Tower. Tetsu.
No. It keeps going to the Dark Tower.
Or Kogari. Yoink.
Yokai, put that in.
No. Finding a lot of Monogatari series, often monster. Oh, that was good.
Nope.
Was a Monogatari.
Oh, you think of Mononoke? No, but anyway, no.
Lots of things, but not that, unfortunately.
Oh well.
Ooh, that looks interesting.
Don't go down rabbit holes. Right, here's a question: are we going to cover the first half of The Legend of Tensui, or are we going to hold back
and cover it?
I wasn't expecting to go in depth into the first story, but there's actually a lot there.
It's considering it's only it's like, what did we my god, what did we cover where it was only like 3 episodes and we were here for like 6 hours?
Oh my god.
Far too many of them.
Yeah. Was that Boogie? That had to be a Boogie Pop one.
It got Boogie Pop. See, I think Boogie Pop is still great.
But like I said, I had to be one of the 6 hour ones. That was ridiculous.
It's up to you. We can cover it if you want to.
I suppose this is a more straightforward story. It's very grim. The Legends of Tensui. So obviously, because we're doing the first 6 episodes, this is the first half, but it's like the first act, and it sort of finishes off at a good point anyway. But it's covering the effects of a curse that's been laid on a family or a lineage for 180 years.
It's a great story. I'm enjoying it so far, but I slightly fumed at it.
There's a wee bit of crossing the fourth wall in this because Yotsu is a writer, and like any horror writer, are our dream is to create that disturbing, frightening story that lingers in people's heads long after they've read it. You know, that is the dream. As a,
I love that part of it. The fact that it's kind of like you have like a bit of background on the story from the guy who wrote the play.
Mhm.
And then it's kind of like it jumps into the story, and it's like it actually shows you the story happening as it happened.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's like breaking the fourth wall, you know, and interesting the way he's done it. And he even sells himself. I like this as well. He's honest about like it's based on the 47 Ronin. There's another tale I can't remember, but obviously I know the 47 Ronin, so I know that story.
Great story. It's a brilliant film. Both
Even the remake.
No, let's say the original is great. The
Yes.
remake good, which is you've got to be quite honest. It's quite unusual.
But it didn't lose the essence.
Mm.
Like the trailer didn't do it any justice.
No, the trailer made it look as if it was just going to be like some sloppy action film.
Yeah, sloppy sci-fi thing or weird fantasy-esque. Don't know what the hell they were going for with that, but it was not the story. But so he's based it on that, and that's what I'm saying. You're allowed to be influenced by films or literature or stories as long as you make it your own. That's what modern, because the entertainment complex is creatively bankrupt at the moment and have been for at least 10 years.
Everything is just seems to be a copy,
rehash, reboot, requel,
spin off of that, or a reboot of the other.
Because they've got their own, because of nepotism, they've got their own people in. Because you know somebody else, blah blah blah, and when that festers for decades, that's why they are the way they are, and it's sad.
I mean, you can tell you can tell the same story a million times. You just need to make it different from every other retelling of it. But they don't. It's like every retelling is the same because they just keep copying the damn thing.
Yeah, because
it's like everything else. It's like you make it's like printing. You make the original print. The more you use it, like the more you use it, the worse it gets. Things wear out, and everything just feels so old and worn out at the moment. It's like you say, the entire entertainment industry in the West just seems to be so like creatively bankrupt. I can't remember the last time I went to go and see a movie at the cinema and truly enjoyed it was when Carl Urban played Judge Dredd.
Oh, have you not seen Good Boy yet?
I haven't.
Oh, you gotta go watch that. That is, oh god, but that's independent. That's not horror.
They get it. It's independent. That's just it. Independent. The independents are the ones who are taking the risks to tell. I think that's it. Nobody dare risk it. Nobody dare risk anything new in case it doesn't work. Because why do you want to spend? Oh, I don't know, random figure, 300 million on a film that nobody's going to watch?
No, but that's what they do because it's all about creative accountancy and
money laundering. And then it's like you get like the independents, and they will spend like a fraction of that amount on a film, and everybody loves it because it's new, it's fresh, they've taken risks.
Yeah, good. You got to watch that movie. That's still rattling about in my head. Like some bastard was chopping onions when I was watching it.
Good boy. I'm making notes. Actually, Tyrannosaur was a good film. That was independent.
Yeah, but like I said, the entertainment complex, the mainstream, it's just it's dead. But this guy, like I said, we've got Yotsu here, and he's even saying, "I was inspired by this story. I was inspired by that story. And this is what I want to create. Here's my influences, and here's the story." And that's brilliant. Like, just that honesty, and even hearing because obviously Yotsu is an avatar for the actual writer of this. And you can still enjoy the story even though you're being told exactly the influences, because it is based on the 47 Ronin, because obviously the Lord died. He didn't have a successor. He dispensed all his retinue, even his Like the whole house fell.
Yeah, it's like when the Lord,
All of the whole house.
the Lord did whatever he did. He was ordered by his Lord to kill him, to commit seppuku, and when he did, his entire retinue basically lost their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Then they are no longer samurai because they do not have a household which they represent.
And their household wasn't absorbed or given a new master. They're basically their
No,
house.
it's just,
There is a term for that, isn't there? When your household is completely erased.
Yes. I don't know why, but I'm thinking of the fall of the House of Usher at the moment.
That's
Oh,
that's bold.
but yeah, it's like they are because their house no longer. But right, it's the thing is, it's not. It won't. He mentions his lord. It won't only be his lord who is forced to commit seppuku. His wife, his children, any sons or daughters who we've got will also go. The entire house that the named is like the entire house that the clan is named after will be absolutely eradicated down to the last member. And it's like the Ronin it leaves behind, the masterless samurai have got no chance of getting another master because, well, their previous lord was forced to commit seppuku. And news of that will be spread countrywide so that they never become like indentured samurai again. 'Tis a ruthless world.
No, there's no actual word for it.
Yeah.
There's no special word for this.
They were defranchised.
I thought there would. If anybody was going to have a word for it, it would be the Japanese. But maybe it's an act considered so horrible that they couldn't put a word for it.
Mm.
But yeah, that's basically what's happened. The Lord gone, the entire family, and then basically the rest of the household are masterless. So the samurai wander as Ronin. The ladies of the house have to sell themselves essentially into prostitution.
That's just it. It's like the same thing. The same thing happened at the beginning of the Meiji period in the late 1800s. It's like basically the government of Japan, the rulers of Japan basically turned around and said, okay, samurai is no longer a thing. We're getting rid of all of the samurai. And the lands were taken off them. It's like because the lands were taken off to them, any taxes they had from those lands were taken off them. And it's like the samurai, the ex-samurai, had to find jobs, which is pretty much what these guys are having to do.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that one bloke is so bad off that he's had to send his daughter into prostitution is a bit shit.
Even though she has a husband.
Even though she has a husband, but because it turns out that her husband has now become a bandit and is a bit of a wise boy and a knobhead, it's like, you're, as far as I'm concerned, you're no longer married. My daughter's coming back to live with me.
In fact, she's better off being a prostitute than being with
Better
you.
off being a prostitute. I mean, that is like...
That's harsh.
It's a bit of a kick in the teeth, is it not? With a size 10 hobnail boot. It's like, yeah, my wife's better off sleeping with strangers for money than being your husband, being your wife. Damn, son.
Yeah, that's totally an insult.
I did laugh evilly when that became up. Mm.
Yeah, and I can see why that would lead to a bit of resentment, which
but you've got to be honest. It's like you've got to be honest. From what you've seen of this guy so far, his father-in-law's not wrong.
No, that's the thing, and
I mean, as he's proved a few moments later, when he kills his father-in-law.
But the scene in the town, like these two idiots. Oh, I know. I'm gonna attack the guy going about with a katana and tanto, because that's gonna end well.
Yeah.
Like you don't wear those things in that culture unless you're proficient. You're kind of setting yourself up, if that makes sense. So
that was the problem. Even though he's no longer a samurai, because he's from a samurai family, he's still entitled to carry his daisho, his two swords.
Mm-hmm. But on saying that, you decide you're going to try and mug the person?
Yeah.
How stupid you have to be.
You've got to be. I blame Saki. I really do.
Yeah.
It's powerful stuff, and it's very good at making your brain forget what it's supposed to do. Also, it tastes a lot less. Also, when you drink it warm, it tastes a lot alcoholic than it really is.
God, I haven't had sake since
But
it's
a long time. It's a long time since I've had any. But so this guy just does nothing to kind of like give you any faith in what he's doing. He's like, I want my wife back. Not a chance. The fact that his name is Lemon. I love the fact that they translated his name out as Lemon.
Yeah.
But it's just like
you can see the bitterness. I think that's the whole scene, isn't it? The sort of bitterness, the resentment.
You can like they have done
everybody in the household and how they're trying to adjust to their new lives and the resentment and just everyone's holding.
I've got to be honest. In this, I think they have done such an amazing job with the characters' eyes in this. Because
it's like the bloodshot underneath.
Yeah, because it's like
eyes and.
Yeah, most people think anime, haha, that's the one with the people with like the huge, massive eyes. They've not. The character designs in this are a lot more human, and they put a lot more detail into the eyes. It's like this guy is bitter, and you can see it in his eyes. It's like this guy is angry, you can see it. This guy is resigned to his fate. It is fate. It's all there. Good stuff.
Yeah, I love the scene in the brothel. So, Lemon goes to the brothel to use it.
Oh.
His companion
and I say
is also going to the brothel to use it, and just happens to realize that Lemon's wife's there, and he's always harbored a thing for her.
Wait, isn't that the woman who's like Lemon's wife? Yes, it is. Right, that's it then.
I've always
I'll have an hour there, please. Puts the money on the counter.
I've always wanted to pump at her. Now's my chance.
It's like okay.
How detestable though do you have to be? I know it's the circumstance, but how detestable have to be that even a prostitute will quit her job on the spot rather than have a go at you? Like,
I mean that it's like
imagine that you're going to pay a prostitute. She goes, "I quit."
It's like you've got to be quite honest. It might sting a bit.
That would hurt. Yes.
But I thought that was awesome. It's like, yeah, I'm not sleeping with you. That's it. I quit. It's just like, then it's like he gets rough and Lemon rescues her, and it's that the bit after that you're talking about, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's like thank you for saving me, husband. But what are you doing here in like a brothel? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. It's.
If you went to book her, it would make it would actually be a love story, wouldn't it?
Oh, okay, that's just it. It's like I will book you every day for every hour you work, so you need never sleep with another man again.
And I'll work my bits off. You know what I mean? That would actually be.
That would be kind. We'd be going back into like tragedy territory, wouldn't we? Because it's like man work. It's like a Ronin working as hard as he can to like protect his good lady wife from like the ravishers of like this loser who serves him.
Yeah, trying to buy her back or something. You know what I mean? Just we could have had a whole. But no, Lemon is not that. He is a disgusting character.
He just wants to get his end away with some like random woman. But
and of course, then after that, he goes and has a word with Tamiya with his sword.
Yeah. That's the thing about swords. They solve all problems.
Well, it kind of ends the argument. I mean, one way or another, the argument's over.
I'm going to say you can't argue when you're dead. That like this is the moral you take away from episode 1. You can't answer back if you're dead.
But everyone here is a broken, like,
Mm.
this is people's worlds have fallen apart. And they're not coping. And they're trying to exist, you know, survive, and it's tasteful for them. If they were lowborn, they would be used to it and it wouldn't matter, but it's sort of indictment on the middle classes, you know.
Yeah,
Any culture, the middle
that's it.
classes are the most precious and worried about social status. It's always the middle class.
Yeah,
When they fall from grace, it's actually damaging them in their soul. Like, 'cause
yeah,
it's their whole way of
they're all lords and ladies, and they used to be being treated like lords and ladies, but they're not lords and ladies anymore. They're just the average Joe on the street.
and they don't even have the street smart.
Because it's like all they're good, literally all they're good for, is like swinging their swords and telling people what to do. Like most samurai lords don't know how to fight because they don't have to. They've got armies and retinues to do that for them. So mostly all they're good at, all they are good for, is yelling at people and telling them what to do. And it shows. God, does it show in this?
Even the way they got rid of the, you know, oh God, who's the other one?
Oh, are we talking about the guy who spends most of like episode 1 and 2 in a cupboard?
No, that's somebody else.
Because I love the fact that even when the house is empty, he doesn't try to escape from the cupboard.
No.
He's been put in there by his lord, and he's staying there.
No, the guy that tried to pump his wife then kills the other guy. Who was that?
Oh yeah, that's it. He kills.
Who's her husband?
Oh, hang on, it's not Lemon who rescues his wife. It's one of the other guys who was their servant, isn't it? Because his name began with Y. Pretty sure his name began with Y.
No, that's Yatsu. That's the father-in-law. Yatsu. No, Yatsu's the narrator. Sorry.
So I only watched this.
This is hard. Yeah, I only watched it yesterday as well. It's like
I watched this last night, but I was that busy fuming at it that I didn't take notes of it. I didn't take many notes.
Oh, sorry, Tamiya.
Was it Tamiya?
Tamiya's the husband.
Lemon Tamiya.
Lemon's the other sneaky one that kills the other guy. The other one's wife. Husband. Sorry, kills her husband, and then makes a creepy marriage proposal.
Oh, okay. No, that's a spoiler for further on. I won't talk about that.
Yeah, but basically, Tamiya gets his wife back, and he may as well not have bothered because he doesn't give a shit about her. Because once she has a kid,
once she has a kid, he loses it. That's it. She's been broken in. It's like he loses interest.
So he's no concept of like starting a family or
He's like that is the point that kind of like may have made me flip slightly.
Yeah. And once again, like you said, these people have no actual skills. They're in places by birth or by the grace of their, their lord. So when it comes to actually making it, like they're living in a rundown shackle of a house, they're clinging on to their old. Like that's why he still has servants in it, because they really don't know what else to do.
Yeah,
he's not a creator. He can't make himself out. He can't make business. He can't. Even starting up a garden company,
Yeah, if you there's a scene where he's making an umbrella. He's making a parasol because of that. There's a skeleton of it on the table, ready to have like the paper placed on it, and it's like a lot of them, like a lot of like disenfranchised samurai turned to things like that because it's putting paper on an umbrella. It's pretty unskilled. So they basically they just do whatever they can to make ends meet.
That's what I mean. He's no like it could be garden convoys. It could gather some of the Ronin together. It could be like a guard force. They could be doing 100 things, but they don't because what's gain?
Yeah, he'd have to do it by himself because, like I say, because he is now a Ronin, because his lord was forced to kill himself, he will never be like a samurai for another lord ever again.
No, but that's what I said about like wagon convoys going from city to city, against bandits. You could still be a business. You could still earn. You could employ your own other Ronin and have them guard things, or there's ways, but he hasn't got that ounce.
Yeah. It's like a lot of Ronin became mercenaries.
Yeah.
But he couldn't because he is like as far as he is concerned, he is somebody who needs. He's not a follower. He's someone who should be followed. It's his right that he should have people doing what he wants them to do.
And then here's the random bit in this. We encounter the Ito family.
Yeah.
And his granddaughter takes a fancy to Tamiya immediately.
I honestly think it's because his name is Lemon. Because that's the only.
As he steps out of his rat-infested house, that needs a good clean. Yeah, she thinks, I want a bit of that. Lady Chatterley and her lover sort of thing. Except he's no Sean Bean.
It's like that's an insult to. I've read that book. That's an insult to Lady Chatterley.
Yeah, but you remember the adaptation as well with Sean Bean?
Oh, God, no, I never. No, but I've seen the original one with Sylvia Costello as Lady Chatterley.
Nah, it's not the one with Sean Bean. That's a good Sean Bean series. But yeah, you know what I mean? It's basically that, but she is not hiding it. She's like, Daddy, I want one, I want one. Her Granda, I want one, I want one.
Granddad is weird.
Yeah, there's something very odd about that family.
It's kind of like I'm good. It's like it's the fact that it's like Tamiya's wife. Tamiya's wife is like she's obviously suffering from like the baby blues. She's not very well. She comes across as being quite depressed.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, are you going out? Yes. Please, where are you going? That's none of your business. Oh, please don't stay away too long. Please come back to me as soon as you can. And it's like she's obviously not coping well. And this guy is like, oh, Ito next door. Ito? Oh, next door is like he sent you some medicine to pick you up to help you. And it's like, oh, I better go and thank him. And it's like, you drink this medicine while I'm gone. He goes next door, and it's like, yeah, basically my like granddaughter, who's only supposed to be like 15, 16 years old, basically fancies the pants off you. Here's a shitload of gold. Please marry her.
Yeah.
To it, it's like, if you marry her, I'll step down as the head of the family. Everything I own is yours. I'm being the amazing standing, like the amazing, like stand-up member of society that Tamiya is. He turns around and is like, yeah, all right, she's prettier than my wife and she's younger.
Yeah, he didn't even do. If he had done the Paul Trudeau thing,
he didn't even.
When he took freaking Emperor what's his face's daughter. Oh my god, there's something else happened.
I have no idea.
All right, so basically he takes the Emperor's daughter as his wife, but he tells Chani that she'll know no love for me, no touch. It's a political marriage. You're the one I love. Like about the concubines.
Yes.
I just can't remember her name right now. But you know what I mean? If he had have even done that, we would have had respect for him. But he's like,
yeah. He just basically goes home, goes to his servant, and it's like, oh, I've just married the lads next door, like, teeny bopper.
Yep.
I want my wife out of this house by morning.
Shagger, would you?
It's like shag her. Go and shag her. If she doesn't want you to shag her, here's my sword. Just kill her. Here's one of my swords. Just like, kill her.
Just take care of it.
Oh, at which point, I've got to be honest. I've got to be honest because I get really involved when I'm watching anime. I was foaming at the mouth. It's like, oh, this arsehole's going to die and it's going to be glorious. Oh, I don't know if he gets eaten by rats.
Oh, let's see. Is this worth a 180-year-old curse? Yes, I think it is.
It's 180 years. I've got to be honest. I reckon the original story. No spoilers here because we know it's going to happen. The ghost does manage to bring down both like the Tamiya family and the Ito, whatever it's called, family. The ghost brings both of them down to ruins, absolutely destroys them. There's no spoiler in that. It's something to look forward to.
Yeah, we know it's because we've already got the intro to the start of that story.
We know it's going to happen, and I want it. I want it to be brutal. I want it to be horrific. I want pouring blood. I want strips of flesh. I want rats hanging off people's throats. I want people hanging themselves to end the pain. I want all the horrible things to happen to this guy because what a cock! Oh my god!
What a bell end, like without a doubt. And the fact that the granddaughter is testing the poison out on the fish pond.
Yeah.
Getting pure sadistic pleasure out of and their goldfish are, they're fantails. I had those.
Yeah, they were those goldfish with the bulging eye or bulging eye.
They're called fantails. They're actually very expensive and very hard to keep.
That's money is obviously no object.
And they're also, you can pet see those type of gold, same as I got a red caparanda as well. I'm a wee pawn thing, and actually you could pet it. It would come up and you could pet it and stuff. They're great. I was annoyed by the fact that she's taking pleasure out of them, and I'm just like, it's just like it's like I say, the details about the eyes that they put into the eyes and the faces than they do normally, like big eye, small mouth, tiny nose anime. It's like you can see that she is totally getting off on what she's doing. Evil, like she knows she's tearing a family apart, and that's why she's getting off on more than him.
Well, yeah, I mean, she's getting what she wants because she always gets what she wants.
And he's not in for a happy life. Never mind his wife, Lady Oiwa, getting poisoned, and the fact that it didn't take immediately, didn't kill her.
It's like, does it explain that the poison is specially designed to destroy your face? It's very specific, but damn, damn. I just wonder when I drank it accidentally. But it's like,
oh yeah, Omiya, that's the wee girl's name, and
yeah. But what's going to happen though? Considering like this is like happily ever after, what happens when she gets bored of Tamiya?
Oh, he's dead.
What happens when she's walking down the street? Like tomorrow, and she sees another pretty boy that she fancies.
Oh, Tamiya's dead. Like, there's no good. And the fact that Tamiya, a supposed warrior, has no sense of self-preservation. God, this sounds like one of my marriages. Fucking hell.
It's like I do hope this isn't going to give you flashbacks. I really do. Well, it's like there isn't.
Why did I do that? Oh yeah.
It's like there isn't a right so far. Yeah, apart from maybe like the two guys who died at the beginning and like Tamiya's original wife, there isn't a good character in this. They're all like massively twisted.
Yep. Like even Oiwa's Lady Oiwa's father. Yes, he kept her away because he didn't think her husband was a good man, but he also did sell her into prostitution. So it's that's
just it. It's like that scene from Blackadder. No, father, you don't mean it. Yes, I want you to become a prostitute. It's actually, I'm going to need a cup of tea after this. It's like, but it's just like there isn't a single decent person in this apart from like the victim.
Even Takamutsu, who he told, right, go rape my wife and say that I cheated on her and kick her out of the house, please.
He had got a bit of decency about him, because it's like, your husband doesn't love you anymore. It's like,
Yeah,
he's
but after
betrayed
she
you.
says no,
He's
like,
married another woman. Please take me as your husband.
because
He
that's the
just
way
tried
it
to
works.
he just tried to like have his way with her forcefully first, like.
Yeah,
But
like I
when
said,
she,
if he had just told her first
yeah,
before, he might
but
have had a chance.
he's at least he kind of like, he's at least a half decent person, because when she says no, he totally backs down.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But your husband, blah 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 blah. Story comes out.
Yep.
There's some seriously gnarly storytelling.
And then Boyo's still in the. Why did he end up in the? What did he do?
He
Brought
stole
back.
what? Oh,
He stole the medicine. That's
he
right.
stole some medicine that belonged to
He wanted it for his father.
yeah,
He stole it.
it belonged to Tamiya's father, and it was like, it belonged to Tamiya's family. No, it didn't belong to Tamiya's
It
family.
was their recipe. It was the family recipe.
Yeah, the family recipe of this medicine, and he one of the lords he'd served previously was ill, and he wanted to take in the medicine to see if it would take him any good. It's like, oh, you came back, you're back, and you brought the medicine back. Like, we're glad about that. Because of that, we'll start by breaking all 10 of your fingers.
And then, oh right, sorry. Here's my in-laws. Better lucky in the cupboard.
And yeah, oh wait, someone's come to visit. Get in that cupboard. Shut up. And of course, being a good servant, he does. He does. Why would you disobey your lord by not staying in the cupboard and quietly waiting your death?
But
I'm not. I'm like, but I've got to admit, it's Lady Iowa died the most stupid death I have seen in a long time, and it saddens me.
just the sword stuck in the post and
Yeah,
just running with it.
she backed into a sword that was sticking out of a post, and basically cut her own head off.
Well, she didn't cut her head off. She just had her throat.
Well,
Because
she sliced his throat, open. But
it
I'm
was
like,
still attached when they tied her to the door. Because
why did they tie her to a door? I mean, she's on one side of the door, the other guy's on the other side of the door. It's the bit where it's actually no. It's the bit where it's like, yes, if we throw them into the river like this, they'll think they drowned each other as part of a lover's pact. So is it a common thing in ancient Japan for lovers to tie each other to opposite sides of doors and throwing themselves off bridges?
very complicated.
I was gonna like Google that before we came on tonight, but I didn't. It's
But once again, he can't even be a good villain. Like, he's that pampered and stupid. I think that's the whole point of it.
yeah,
Like,
he's as far as villains go, right? I rank him under Doctor Evil. Maybe Doctor Nefarious from Minions. He's kind of like he's kind of like he's a very modern kind of villain, a very like 21st century kind of villain. All swagger, no substance.
yeah, and it makes it more. But the fact that we've got somebody trying to, I mean, I think what makes this is the first draft. Like, Yotsu is saying that he wants to make the most terrifying thing ever, and he's trying. He's. I think that's what makes this not seem ridiculous, because we've got the storyteller going through the idea in his head, so we can sort of go, all right, okay, maybe I'll get rid of that in the second draft. Yeah. But he goes to edit, he'll realize that was a bit silly. But the fact that
I do like the fact that it's like you have got this little like interactions with the guy who's writing the story at the beginning of every episode. I am actually looking forward to watching the last two parts of this.
Yeah,
Because I think we know we know how the story's going to we know how the story's going to turn out.
Oh, yeah.
We know exactly how the story's going to turn out. But it's going to be fun seeing how we get there.
But here's another thing that gets me is he's invited the Edo family over for tea or something to his rat-infested house,
Like,
or did they just turn up?
I think it's like she, the daughter, right? The granddaughter, 12 or whatever old she is, will go and live with him, which is why he needs like his legitimate wife out of the way. And it's kind of like, oh, she got a bit excited and decided to come home early.
Oh, your wife's killed herself and you've got a child. We'll look after your child for you.
Oh yeah, that is the bit that I've got to be honest. That is one of the bits that freaked me out. It's like, oh, your wife's dead. Don't worry, your new wife's here. We'll look after the kid as if it's our own.
As if it's a Tuesday, you know what I mean? This happens every week.
It's like, my child bride. Let us do the bumpy kind of thing. And then he has some kind of like
not even wipe the blood off the bed or anything. Not even tidied up.
It's like, don't worry about the blood stains. Our body heat will dry them, or worse, or something along that. I may have made that up. But it's just kind of like I love the fact that it's kind of like she could just before his like original wife, just before she dies, she curses him, and the curse it's like the curse is right in there. And I've got to be quite honest, what a great curse. I approve of this curse, and I hope it causes him much pain.
Mm-hmm. And then we'll finish off with Yotsu again, just finish off going, well, that's all I have for the first act.
It's like I'll write some more for next time. It's like I've got to be honest. Both of these stories may have like made me slightly angry in places. But I am enjoying these because we've watched some good horror. We've watched some like lighter horror. We've watched some darker horror. But I don't think Elfen Lied was lighter than this.
Yeah,
compared to this, Elfen Lied was a comedy.
Oh yeah, because there's loads of light moments to balance it out. This is just. But then again, this is traditional. This is early, like raw folktales.
Yeah,
folktales were dark. There's a beauty about the uninhabited nature of them, and I think that's why they serve a purpose. As I've always said, horror is a warning. Horror is the look into the darkness or the ramifications if you're utterly stupid. Horror is a warning against stupidity and self-indulgence and not having any sort of critical skills about you. That's how horror movies start. That's how horror stories start. It's foolishness of people lead to horror. And horror stories have always been a warning. And the early folktales were the rudimentary, attempts at creating a moral compass for people to follow. And this is demonstrating that. Sorry?
I was going to say, or like you say, as a warning. It's like tales by the campfire, warning you to like not leave the light of the village or the settlement late at night because there are things out there that will do you harm.
And it's always down to the same thing. Like I said, I can equate these to Greek tragedies: hubris, arrogance, selfishness. Just not even selfish, self-centeredness. We're all selfish to some degree or another, but pure self-centeredness where there's nobody else except you and your needs and your wants, and you don't think of other people. These are all basics. That's how a society is formed, by letting go of those things or tempering them. When we overindulge or becomes compulsion, like being led by our compulsions just leads to self-destruction. And we're seeing all of this in both these stories so far. And this first half just setting us up. Now the next half is going to be the revenge arc.
I've got to, I'm not going to lie. I am so looking forward to the revenge arc. I am just so looking forward to watching Lemon's life. Lemon, they picked the right name for him.
Yep.
To
Yes,
watching Tamiya's life just like fall to pieces.
Yeah, and just a reminder of what he did right at the last moment. But yeah, there you go. I just finished nicely at Act 1. So that's why we were thinking about doing each story as a separate stream, but this finishes up nicely.
I just like I've got big expectations for the way this ends, for how this is going to end. Yeah.
Well,
and I've got to be honest. I hope that the story that comes out of this is more of the same.
It's a Goblin Cat or something. I think the third story is.
Oh, what's it? Ooh, that could be a lot of things. Because in Japanese folklore, Japanese mythology, cats are some of the evilest creatures you can get. Cat wants nothing more than to kill you.
Fair enough.
Which is why when you're trying to sleep, they lie on your face. Been there about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward. Like I said, like the first one, great story. This is great. You know, they're not carbon copies either. Like they're completely different stories.
Yeah,
completely different tonal. The animation, like it's the same style of animation, but once again, they're shaped to fit the story.
I enjoy the more realistic style of animation.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like if you think about it, it's like the regular style of anime, the style of animation that people normally associate with anime, just wouldn't work in these.
Oh no, I would tear it apart. This is like I said, this is similar to like I said, shadow puppetry or kabuki. You know you could see this on a stage at Kabuki Theater, and yeah, I'm all aboard. I'm enjoying it. But there you go. We will be back in 2 weeks with this.
I just want to see Lemon die.
Well, not too quickly.
Oh no, he's got to suffer. I'm hoping
he's got to suffer first.
Hopefully, one of the rats will give him leprosy or something like that. That'd be quite nice.
Yeah, I have a funny feeling those rats are going to play into the story again. They're not going anywhere. And obviously, the Ito family need a good dose of reality because that's a strange family. They've got some.
That is well. It's like they're 2 members short, so this is good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's just some incredibly weird characters in this one.
And they're not anime characters. You know, I mean, they're actually you could picture a family being like that. Too much money, too much wealth.
They are believable characters.
In both these stories, you could picture meeting the people in it. I think that's what makes it grounded.
No, that'd be terrible because I'd have to punch Lemon and then he'd probably stab me with his sword.
Yeah,
it wouldn't end well. It wouldn't end well.
That's why they attacked him, because they just saw him. He just oozes that sort of I want to punch him sort of vibe.
Yeah, that's why the rats attacked him, because it's like there's a bigger rat there than we are. We've got to take him down.
Yep. What a horrible hurt.
It's like what a character.
Yep. But there you go. We are back actually on Wednesday. That's right. We're first episode or the first stream of Chill the game. Oh, we're doing it to be beside the seaside.
It'll be fine. People will enjoy it.
That'll be a laugh. I'm looking forward to it because I haven't played this system before, and
wow, it's right. It's a really easy percentile system. You want to roll as high as possible while keeping under your attribute score, because the closer you roll to the attribute score, the better the results.
Oh, but like Cthulhu then?
Yeah, a bit like Cthulhu, Eclipse Phase, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be good.
Sounds good. Okay, so just want to say then, thanks to everybody for turning up. Keep the chat going, and for those lurking in the background, we do see you and appreciate you being here. Just as been said then, until next time, keep up the channel, do the technical things, and remember to keep it creepy, keep it horrific.